Also, Luke, I am your father. It's Wednesday, October 14th, and we're going to do a quiet fan. Jesus, that's a loud fan. God damn. We're going to do viewer games like we do sometimes. Man, that's a loud fan. Let's see. And the microphone was turned down. Terrible. And so forth. So we have a new system where you send your games to Discord, and I look at them there. That way we don't mess up the chat. The chat can easily get messed up. If you're watching on YouTube, you can watch live at twitch.tv/GMBenjaminFeingold and so forth, mainly and so forth. Let me refresh the stream. Man, my computer's fan is really loud. It wasn't loud until I started the stream. Must be a fascinating stream. I even turned the engine off on chess.com, hoping it would go away, the noise. Luckily, there's nobody here. No, you're here. Boo. Hello. I'm back. Give me your money. Donate or else. I have a mask on, so you gotta do what I say. That's correct. This is your game? I hope not. It's Kangaroo. He's gonna give 1 cent to do. I hope. Yay, 1 cent to do. Thank you. I got the secret document here. See, that's what the Supreme Court Justice nominee should have done. Like, secret document, fifth. Then I would have been for it. I would have been all right. Trying not to learn 2 cents. Do you remember your first official game as a GM? No. Honeyface, 1 cent to do. Can I just say you're an inspiration? You can. Yay, we have ads. Man, that's like annoying me. The fan is so loud. Jesus, that donation was too loud. I mean, thank you. $4.99. Thank you, Kangaroo. Yeah, we got that game in the queue. So go to my Discord and then go to Game Analysis Request Exclam, and I'll just go down the line. The first game was submitted 2 days ago by The Real Joe Money. He said, I was black and I lost. It was a daily game. I was 1999. And his opponent was 1999. And he was 1328. And then I'll just keep looking at the games and then delete them and, so forth. Mainly and so forth. I'm already confused. Not really saying much. Let's see. How long is the queue? I don't know. Yeah, the games have to be submitted in Discord, and then I analyze them. A lot of them were submitted 2 days ago, yesterday, today, and so forth. Yeah, don't put your games in here, Joseph. Put them in. We don't want to make the chat just games. Just put it in Discord. Somebody can give the Discord link. Oh, Mubot did. Yeah. $51 viewers. That's not too good. Let's see. Thanks, Mustache. Oh, yeah, I almost pushed Exclaim stats. 2,068 subs. Boo, boo. Nobody subbed in a whole day. You can still be infected via Twitch because other people aren't wearing a mask. So it could happen. All right, we'll wait for some other people to get here. Have some coffee. I made that coffee. Man, when's the last time I had coffee that I made here? God damn. I made coffee last week, but I didn't have any. I don't think I did. We have 14 players playing across the hall in the month long. We have a 2200 playing and a 2100 and a 1900, an 1800, 1700. People of all ratings and skills, couple of unrateds, etc. And so forth. COVID and coffee's correct. Oh, coffee. I didn't think of that. Yay. That's delicious and dangerous. Wait for some more people to get here. Okay, so this game was played, and the guy who submitted it was black, and he's 1300. He's playing a 1999. This is the way I play with black against b4. These moves are good. I like all these moves. Oh, I don't want that. Boo. All right, so black has a fine position. This is a daily game, so level of play should be okay. D5 is good. E3 is okay. Rook E8's good. Yeah, good game so far. No mistakes. Pretty good game. It's like a super GM game. I guess it's a daily game, so they can think hours on their moves if they want to. Put it in H. So, in this opening, White's giving up. I mean, his intention, which he did, is to give up his side pawns for center pawns. And black took on b4, move 2, instead of developing and defending his e-pawn, because he wants to get a big lead in development. So you can see that, White hasn't moved these pieces yet. White's moved this bishop 3 times. And White's advantage is he has 2 center pawns, and black has 0 center pawns. But black has a lead in development. So the engine actually prefers black here a little bit. Now you made your first sort of odd move. You played rook e7. I mean, your rook's already on open file. You don't really want to double on this file because what are you going to do? So this rook a d8's got to be the right move. You played here, which is a little weird. Knight h4 is a good move. It's funny how knight h4 tactically works now to get the 2 bishops because your rook is on e7, which is sort of weird. After knight h4, if you take this and you trade queens, then your rook's hanging on e7, so you're losing. If your rook was on e8, you'd be fine. So there's a strategical reason rook e7 is bad, and tactically it's bad because of knight h4 and the rook is hanging in that variation. So you have to move your queen. And this is better for white because white has the 2 bishops and the center pawns. So yeah, rook e7 was a pretty reasonable mistake. Okay, queen b3 is good. I mean, you don't want to play knight b6 because your bishop at a5 is trapped. But all right, I mean, gotta do something. Knight c3, and you took the knight because you didn't want the bishop to be trapped forever. And it's 2 bishops against 2 knights, and white has 2 center pawns to 0. So basically white's winning strategically. Normally that wouldn't matter when the players are pretty low rated, but it is a daily game. You get to think as long as you want on a move. So, okay, rook d6 I like. d5 is giving up some squares. Rook h6, threatening mate. Knight e5 is good. Take. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the move d5. Rook c1 is good. This is a weak pawn. Rook g5. Rook g5 is a funny move because white only has one good move in this position, which is amazing. It was black's threatening queen takes pawn check, and it's mate. So, for example, rook c7, mate. Gotcha, bitch. So he played king h2, which is the only winning move, defending the h3 pawn. Queen d1's a bit passive. Okay, now, if you want to defend this pawn, what you do, probably queen e7's right. Black made another mistake here, knight a8. He didn't want to move his queen away from this attacking position, but you can't put your knight on a8. You can't do that. That's really bad. Bishop g4. And now you made a tactical mistake, although your position is bad anyway. You took this. And here your opponent should actually play queen a4, threatening back rank mate, and threatening queen a7, which wins your whole queen side. This move is also good. And after d6, you resign prematurely if you're watching this. If you're not watching this, then you can watch it on YouTube later, so you're still watching it now. Yeah, if you take this, you get mated. And if I queen my pawn, obviously I win. So that's why you resigned. But actually you can continue playing, instead of resigning, with queen f6. And the idea is, if he takes this, you can take it. And you can't play rook takes knight, because queen check wins the rook. And the queen is defending this back rank. So this is playable for black. And after d7, you play queen d8. Now this is winning for white strategically, but you shouldn't resign. You're up a pawn actually. So resigning was premature, although if 2 supercomputers were playing, white would win. But yeah, if you don't play queen f6, then you're incredibly lost, like plus 12. And the tactical justification is after this, we just take it. And there's a back rank problem. But that should be a good reminder to all of you. Back rank problems aren't good. No, it's not a blitz tournament. It's a slow tournament. Blitz tournament's Friday. All right. I know you guys don't like to see my face because I'm so ugly, but too bad. Gotta drink this coffee. That was a pretty good game. But yeah, you can't play knight e8. You can't do that. You can't have your knight there. Knight should be, over here. Terrible. We've discussed this on streams earlier. Piece activity is pretty important. It's more important than club players realize. It's you guys learned a long time ago that like a knight is worth 3 and a rook is worth 5 and all that nonsense. I mean, the value of the pieces fluctuates depending on how active they are and what they're doing and what potential they have and whether you have more than an 8th grade education. It's a trap. Continue the gift sub. Huge raid from GM Naroditsky. Naroditsky is like, I'm not raiding that idiot with his mask on. Then I took my mask off and Naroditsky's like, all right, thanks, Daniel. Daniel's playing a match tomorrow with Tigran Petrosian, sponsored by the Charlotte Chess Center. So go watch that match tomorrow. Thursday, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., sometime. Eastern. If Daniel's in the chat, which he's probably not, you could tell us what time the match is tomorrow. Yeah. No, first prize is a pair of Pampers. Thanks, Kangaroo. 1 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, it's real. That's not even a joke. 1 p.m. Eastern, which is in England or UK or whatever that's called, Great Britain, nobody knows. That's 6 o'clock, and it's 7 o'clock CEST, and in Eastern Europe, it's 8 o'clock. Yeah. Go Tigran. 1 p.m. EDT. Thanks, Peter. Yeah. Peter, I have some bad news for you. I know you're listening too. If you forfeit Tigran for cheating at any point, if you do, I'm not saying you will, but if you do, you're in trouble because then he will challenge you to a match for $5,000. So you better watch it, Peter. So, I mean, Wesley's one thing, but I don't think you want to play a match for $5,000. So, so careful. So be careful. All right. And I heard that one of the arbiters of the match, this is true, by the way, is Peter's mom. You guys didn't know that she plays chess too. And I asked, why is your mom an arbiter? And he said, because she already has the prizes. She has leftover Pampers from when Peter was a kid. Yeah. She comes in the middle of the joke, but it's still funny. Yeah.
Hey,
Karen with those vegan snacks.
are you doing viewer?
I already did one.
Can you take tell him that I don't hang out since he's a
Yeah, he's not the only mod. Yeah.
the 3 minutes.
I don't know where his game is. Is it in, it's what's supposed to be?
I didn't know it.
Yeah. Anything good there? I had my mask on until like 2 minutes ago. As soon as I took my mask off, Naroditsky rated me. Yay. I'm so pretty.
I like those gummy type things.
Right. Queen F6 is good. I like when you do the gummy type things on date night. Yeah, Queen F6 is actually the best move, and that's why you shouldn't resign. But it's very tactical. This is a very tactical line, and black is still in the game. So white should actually play d5. And this is winning for white, but that's if like 2 computers are playing. If 2 humans are playing, all 3 results will happen. Yeah. So yeah, resigning was premature, but you didn't see Queen F6 and all these tactics. If you don't play Queen F6, then you got to resign because you're going to get mated on the back rank and lose your knight, and the guy's going to queen. All right. But yeah, Queen F6 almost saves the day. Yeah, almost. Yeah. It's weird. So let me tell you what happens in this stream. You guys send dozens of games. You send them in the chat. You send them in Discord. Sometimes you email them. A lot of times you guys send duplicates. You're like, look at my game, look at my game, look at my game. So there's like 85 games, and there's only like 60 are actual games, and 25 are duplicated from before. And so I can only look at one game at a time, and it takes me like 15 minutes to look at a game. So, And then you're like, look at my game. Why aren't you looking at my game? Roar, I'm so mad. Okay, I get that. Then Karen comes in and says, you got to look at this guy's game. He's bothering me. Damn, tough being me. Yeah. You guys forgot the secret to having me look at your game. Donate more than anybody else. That'll do it. You donate $100, I'm looking at your game. And that's all I'm looking at. And even if every move hung a queen and mate and won, you played great. Yeah, in fact, for $200, if you lost the game, I'm going to get the result of the game reversed. Yeah. Look at my game. Roar. Okay. Let me go to Discord and delete the game that I looked at so I don't look at it again. Okay. Now I'm supposed to look at 2 games before any other because they're mods and I'm getting yelled at by everybody. Okay, so this game I have to look at first because I got yelled at. And then I'll look at the other game that I got yelled at. And then somebody new will yell at me and we'll look at that game. This is Trying Not to Learn. It was a 3-minute game. You were 1347 and he was 2054. Okay. And Karen came in specifically to say, I have to look at this game or my children's children or something. McJurgle, how could I not forget everybody? This is like discussions I used to have with my parents. My dad's died 6 years ago, but I still remember these discussions. My parents like really old movies, like movies that were made between like 1925 and 1945. And they like those actors and actresses. Well, I guess the actresses are now actors because it's 2020. Anyway, and so we would have these discussions like there's always these lists on the internet, the 25 best movies, the 25 best actresses, the 25 best actors. And my parents would get really mad at these lists. Like on one of the lists, the second greatest actress ever, I don't know if it's greatest, but was Audrey Hepburn. And they would laugh and they would be like, the list is already absurd. And I'm like, this is the list from like the American Movie Institute as decided by all the directors and actresses. That made him even madder. She's not even the best Hepburn. So. Tariq DC's gifting. And what would happen is we would have these discussions, who are the 25 greatest actors ever? And then if I saw an actor somewhere, I'd be like, are they in the top 25? And they're like, oh yeah. And at some point I concluded there were like 200 people in the top 25. And my mom just says, you got to squeeze them in. You got to get them in there. And I'm like, what? And my dad would always say that a movie was his favorite. And I'm like, all these other movies are your favorite. You got to squeeze them in. So all the movies are his favorite, and all the actors and actresses are the top 25. Except Audrey Hepburn. Yeah, neither one of them thought she should be in the top 25, and they ranked her second. Yeah. So there you go. Okay. The game I never reviewed is, yeah. Yeah, I got to, and then Karen's like, you got to look at this game, you got to look at this game, you got to look at this game. And I'm like, well, that's all the games. I know. All right. So this is Try Not to Learn. He's white, beating somebody several hundred points higher than him. Plays a London. Okay, pretty good. Usually they play bishop g3 in this position. Bishop takes is okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of c4, even if it is explosive. Black should definitely play e5 here. c4 doesn't make any sense. Gotta play e5. b5 is terrible. Yeah, and white's already close to winning. This has nothing to do with anything. Now white's threatening e5, and yeah, white has a great position. Now black blundered. You have to take on e4. He played queen d8. Probably white's very close to winning here, I would think. Yeah, e5 I like. Knight d7 makes sense. And the problem is, we don't have a dark squared bishop. We have this terrible white squared bishop. And white has this great white squared bishop. Brent Tompkins subscribed. If you ever come in Austin, eat at my Korean restaurant. All right. I almost went to Austin once, but it didn't work out. Yeah, it was too weird. It's funny, there's a new member of our club. They moved here from Houston a couple of months ago. And the kid's 12 years old and he's 2100. And they're playing here tonight. But they're from Houston, so close. But they live here now. Their wife and husband are both doctors and work and teach at Emory. I've been to Houston, I've been to Dallas, I've never been to Austin. Okay, so you played queen e2, that's excellent. This is a very poor position for black because this bishop is just unbelievably bad, and this bishop's unbelievably good. And white has more space on the king's side, and black's pieces are all on the queen's side. So it's a really bad position for black. Black shouldn't have played c4, b5. If you have a pawn on, now let me explain something to you guys that you'll never understand ever. Never. This is tension. I take you, you take me. And white wants to play e4, e5, and he did. And if the pawn is on c5 and white ever plays e4, black can take all these pawns and give white an isolated pawn. But if we release the tension, which you should only do on date night, $9. Thanks, Ursus Maritimus. Now when I play e4, I never get an isolated pawn. That's why this move is bad. You're releasing the tension here. And you're making this bishop worse. What black would want to do if he could cheat, obviously he should play e5. But if he can't play e5, he should play b6, bishop b7, knight e7, knight g6, knight e4, f5. So he can get his share of the center and, yeah, c4 is just bad. Okay. b4. The engine wants to play the crazy knight e4, which proves you're cheating with an engine. So you probably shouldn't do that. If you have an opponent play knight e4, and you complain to chess.com they're using an engine, your opponent's in trouble. And the idea is pretty obvious. You threaten mate and you threaten the knight. So white would win a pawn if black did that. Plus this pawn's no good. And if he doesn't take, the knight has d6, and the knight has g5. So knight e4 is just a great move. It's the kind of move a grandmaster would play in a slow game. Maybe. Not in a blitz game. And the reason it works is this knight's not protected. So we're trying to get our knight to d6, trying to get our knight here, and there's the gateway. Okay, queen e3 is okay. Okay, you sacrificed a bishop, which totally unnecessary. Just take back. Your game is... See, here's what you don't understand, and you'll never understand. No matter how many times I explain this to you, you won't agree with me because you're too low rated. When you're 2,500, which is never going to happen, you'll write me an email and say, yeah, you were right, I'm sorry. So even me telling you this is I'm wasting my time. But if even one of you listens out of the 566 viewers, if only one of you says, man, that guy's right, my job is done. When you play blackjack, this is my blackjack analogy, often you'll have a choice of 2 or more plays. And the bad blackjack player, who doesn't know basic strategy, votes for Trump, doesn't know what money is, doesn't know what chips are, doesn't know what a casino is, they look at play number 1, whatever that play is, and they decide whether they like it or not. If they like it, they do it. If they don't like it, they don't do it. And then, whatever the alternative play is, if they didn't do the first play, they do the alternative play. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. They're not doing the first play. And if they did the first play because it's good, it doesn't matter if the second play is better. They've already done the first play. Okay, this is the typical blackjack player. They have 12, and they stay, and they say, I never hit with a 12 because I always get a 10. They always get a 10. Okay, now, obviously, if you get a 10, you lose. If you don't get a 10, your hand is slightly better or clearly better than it was. If you get an ace, 2, 3, or 4, it's the same. But if you get a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, especially 8 or 9, 9. Okay, now, what they don't realize is they're only going to bust 4 times out of 13, which already confuses them. But the fact that they're staying means they're a huge underdog against anything. Well, slight underdog against a 5 or a 6. Unless the count is high, then they could be a favorite. But if I tell them the count is high, they'll go up and crawl in the corner in a ball and, the fetal position. Okay, so what you should do in blackjack, other than have the basic strategy tables memorized and have a running count and using the Kelly criterion, other than that, and playing probably high up to 1, because that's all you can really do. You guys don't have the mental capacity to play a more complicated system. But anyway, what you should do is take the 2 options you have and go, which one's better? You'll still make the wrong decision, but it's a more informed decision, right? Okay. Let me give you an example. Let's say you don't like Biden, which is correct. You shouldn't like Biden. I agree. And you're like, well, I don't like Biden, so I'm not voting for Biden. Who else is running? Oh, Trump's running. I'll vote for him. Terrible. Now, if you did the other way around, you luckily were correct. It's lucky. If you said, oh, I don't like Trump, who else is running? Okay, who's that? Biden? All right. See, then you're sort of accidentally right, but that's not the way you do it. You're like, okay, Biden's no good. Oh my God, Trump's 100 times worse. I'll vote for Biden. Not Biden's no good. I'll vote for somebody else. That's not how you do it. Okay, now why did I give you all this spiel? Okay, the reason I give you all this spiel is because in this position, bishop takes h7. Is that good? Maybe. The answer is no. But maybe. The answer is no. But it could be good. It could be that after bishop h7, white has the advantage. It's possible. It turns out white's losing after bishop h7, but that's not my point. My point is, if you take this, white's game is great. White has everything. Black's position's terrible. So here you got black's position's terrible, and here you got, I hope this piece sack works. So you wouldn't play the piece sack. Now, if white was losing by playing BC, then you would play the piece sack. Unclear is better than losing. You see what I'm saying now? No? $11. Analyze the game I played. Rawr. I analyzed the game, I think, of yours just now. Okay. Now, here's the other reason bishop h7 is bad. This one is psychological in nature. For reasons that are nonsensical. It's very Trump-like, by the way. I have a friend, and he doesn't like Trump. And he said, my sisters and brother, they love Trump. It doesn't matter what Trump does. Doesn't matter. And he gave a funny analogy, which I've said on the stream, I think. He said, if we were in a sinking boat, me, my sister, and Trump, and there was one life jacket she could give to one of us, he said, I better learn how to swim. Like, it doesn't matter what Trump does. I love Trump. Okay, this is how you guys are with playing bishop takes h7 check. You guys love bishop takes h7 check. You love it. Okay, stop doing that. Stop liking stuff. Okay, if Trump kills people, that's bad. If Trump does things that are good, that's good. He doesn't do things that are good. But if he did, that would be good, right? So bishop takes h7 is good when it's good, and it's bad when it's bad. You guys are in love with bishop takes h7. You guys love bishop takes h7 check almost as much as people who love Trump love Trump. Well, not quite, but close. You got to stop doing that. You can't love stuff in chess. The only thing you can love in chess is the right move. Okay? If you win 100 games in a row, that would be good. If you're like, well, winning isn't my main concern. I like sacking my queen. So if I sack my queen 100 games in a row, and I get 50 out of 100, 50%, or I never sack my queen and I get 100 out of 100, I'd rather just sack my queen all 100 games. And that's why you're not a grandmaster, because you like stuff. You can't like stuff. Play the right move every move. So people love doing that. Oh, they love doing that. Oh. In fact, they tell me to do it on my stream. They're like, can you sack all your pieces? I love that. Now, let's take basketball. Okay. Some people, we call them, I don't know, dummies, like the Houston Rockets. Okay. Now, I like the general manager because we're like, that son. Okay, we talk on Twitch and stuff. He's a chess player. But, you know, when they don't pass the ball and shoot 100 threes and make 20 of them, their fans are like, wow, that's just awesome. I love that. And then I'm like, but I like teams that win. So the Pistons, when they were good, they won every game. There's nothing to love about them, but they won every game. I lived in Detroit, so I like that. I like when you win every game. Now, who's winning every game now? The Braves, right? The Braves win every game. They win every game. I like that. I live in Atlanta, and the Braves win every game. Also, I live in Atlanta, and the Falcons lose every game. I don't like that. So whether the quarterback is good, or the pitcher is good, or the coach is good, or you have your own opinion on the subject, I don't care about that. Falcons always lose, Braves always win. That's how I decide what's going on. That's it. So in chess, if you always win, I like that. You know who always wins? Morphy, Fischer, Kasparov. I like that. They always win. Sounds good, right? So you can't like things. You can only like winning. So you want to play the best move. Now, here's what happens. White played bishop h7. White beat a player 700 points higher rated. Now he likes bishop h7 even more. Now I want to congratulate White because you played better than your opponent. You didn't play like a wuss. You played aggressive and your opponent folded. So you won. Great. But when you want to become the best player in the world, you have to play accurately and correct every move. Okay, so bishop h7. Also, we've had no trains yet. Boo. Chris, 32 times 9 subscribe. What are you, a Go player? Damn. All right, thank you. You're the best person who ever lived. Okay, so king h7. Knight g5 check. Okay, the engine says king g8 wins and king g6 is better. Now, when you play this, you'd like to put the queen on h7 with mate if the king goes back. The queen can't go here because the pawn takes it, and the queen can't go to h3 because the knight's hanging. So the engine just says king g8 and black's up a piece, and black's threatening another piece. Okay, he played king g6. The engine says that's equal because the king's terrible on g6. Normally, you would play king g6 because king g8 gets crushed. But here, king g8 does not get crushed. King g8's fine. So there's no queen here, there's no queen here, there's no queen here. And we've already traded off, some material. White has no bishops, white's rooks aren't attacking. So it's just unsound. Okay, king g6. Knight df3 is a good move. You saved your knight, and you got your other knight into the attack. Now, this is very strange to me. The engine's giving some crazy stuff. You have to let it sit for a while. It's only a depth 21. The move the engine gives now seems very reasonable to me, which is rook h8. Defends the whole h-file, stops knight h4 check, stops h4, h5 check. Rook h8 looks very reasonable to me. Your opponent totally ignored your attack. Now, this reminds me of a funny story. It's not a funny story, it's just a story. Anand was playing Karpov for the FIDE World Championship. FIDE World Championship. When, basically Kasparov and Kramnik were the world champions. And Anand was losing, so he made crazy piece sacrifice. He was losing. And Karpov didn't take the piece, which was winning. And not taking the piece was winning. And they said, why don't you take that piece? And he's like, I'm already up 2 pawns. That's enough. There's no reason to be up more. So here, black's up enough to win if he doesn't get mated. If black doesn't get mated, black's up a piece, and then that's it. Black's winning. But if black gets mated, he's not winning. So knight h4 check, you can't let that happen. So rook h8 is an excellent move. At depth 26, the engine prefers black because we stopped basically white's only threat. And then black's like, more, I want more. All right, knight h4 check. And you do the song about the sweet loving woman. It's funny, king h6 is the best move, losing the queen. Because king h8 gets mated. Or king h5 gets mated. But he played king h5. g4 is forced mate. Queen h3 is a win. And your move is actually not so good. Let's look at the forced mate, because it's forced mate. If you play here, then f4, and you can't stop mate in 1. There's 2 mates in 1. You can't stop queen g3 mate. It doesn't matter what move you make. I play queen g3 mate. You make any move you want. I play queen g3 mate. So you can't take the knight. So you have to go here, king h6. And now knight f5 is forced mate, or knight f5. And queen h3 is forced mate, and this is quicker. But one's 7 moves, one's 9 moves. So, okay, you played f4. And now your opponent blundered, I think. Yes. Okay. Your opponent only has one move here. He has to get rid of the attacking pieces. So he has to play queen takes knight. Now you're not going to mate him because he got rid of one of your attacking pieces. And now you can take this and make a queen. And this is actually good for black. Black's up material. The knight is hanging. White's running out of pieces. Oh, now it says it's good for white, which makes sense to me because black's king is crazy. Now it says it's good for black. I like the way the engine doesn't know. That's funny. And now it says it's a draw. Okay, black's up a ton of material here. Black has a rook and 3 pieces for a queen. So white has to mate black or perpetual black. And now it says white's winning with rook f1. The engine can't figure it out. It's too hard. So queen takes knight was the only move, although maybe you're still winning. He took this, which loses. And you played the only winning move, g4 check. Obviously, if king takes knight, there's 2 different mates. So he has to play king h6. And you played rook takes a1. You have forced mate if you play queen h3 or knight f5 check. Well, knight f5 check, you're just repeating and then playing queen h3. So queen h3 is winning. You took this. And now your opponent blundered again. Yeah, you want to keep attacking here. Queen h3 is just crushing. If he plays queen takes rook check, you play king takes. If he plays queen d4 check, you play king h1. And then you do the discovered double triple mate on the h-file. But okay, this is a mistake. Now your opponent has to sack everything. So this is a very interesting move. He didn't play this. The idea is if you take with a pawn, queen takes knight, and black is safe. If you take with this pawn, then I trade queens. So that's an excellent defense. That would be really hard for a human to find. And after knight takes here, the engine right now prefers black until it changes its mind. Okay, your opponent played queen b6. You played the only winning move, knife f5 check. Always play knife f5. This loses in shallow and pedantic, g takes f5 is mate, queen h5 is mate, and queen h7 is mate. Ridiculous. So he played king g6, which is correct. And you played queen h3, double exclam, threatening mate and mate. The knight defends the pawn, so you can't play queen takes pawn check. And he just let you mate him. He played e takes and mate. And also queen h7 is mate. And also e takes f5 is mate. This is a very, 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 very poor defense. E takes f5, because it lets you have 3 different mates in one. Okay, so what he should do is do something to stop the mate and make you figure it out, like knight f6. That stops queen h5 mate and queen h7 mate. And you're still winning, but it's hard to win. Could also play queen takes d4 check, giving his queen away. Then you don't have mate. Hello. Who'd Archer play? The tall guy? Who?
Staples.
And?
He won. Archer won.
Yeah, that's good because Staples is taller than him. We have a member of our club who's like 6'3", 6'4". Yeah. I saw the position. I don't know. I didn't know what was going on. Oh.
Yeah.
Yay, go Archer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Archer's back.
Yeah, if you make a move and your opponent has 3 different checkmates in one, you didn't defend right. In this position,
Who is that?
this is still trying not to learn.
Do you know, can I make a small recommendation?
No.
That would improve? Because a while ago when I tuned into the stream, because I was doing other stuff, people go in on and off the stream. I had to ask the chat whose game you're reviewing. If you put just at least one person's name, you type it in, just like trying not to learn.
Ooh, I could do that.
What is he white? I guess.
Yeah,
That way people know whose game you're reviewing.
that's correct. I was trying not to let them know. So in this position,
Yeah.
black played this. E takes f5. You should look at my screen. And now white has 3 different mates in one. So that wasn't a good defense. And he played one of them. Trying not to play mate in one, but he couldn't help it. Yeah, so basically any move is better than that because white has 3 mates in one. You know what? This looks like games you play. You're up like a lot of pieces. The guy's trying to mate you. It looks like a French. It wasn't a French, but it looks like a French.
So what was the defense?
Any move that stops these 2 mates. So rook h8, knight f6,
Yeah.
queen takes d4 check. Black's up like 300 pieces here. But if you get mated, it doesn't matter. So you just don't get mated, and you'll have like, some pieces for a queen. You're still losing, but it's not easy to win. Like after knight f6, the win isn't easy. Because, you're not trying to win and lose pieces. You're trying not to get mated.
All right, I'm going to
All right, go Archer,
I'm
and
gonna
don't forget to steal some snacks.
get some food for him. Then I'll get on the stream when I get home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down with the federal taxes. We have to do the state.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
A state? State. Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Wow.
Half point by. It's too hot in here, by the way. What?
I think no matter what, you have to have it open.
Yeah, or you could turn the air up.
There's no ventilation.
What?
It
Yeah, the air. Then there's air.
comes out way.
Supposed to.
Yeah, I think
When I turn the air on, it makes it cooler.
you should have a door.
Doesn't matter. It still makes it cooler when I turn the air on. All right. Tough in here. I donated Analyze My Game. I did analyze your game. Your game was the first game I analyzed. Okay. Everybody donated. You're not the only one. All right. In fact, nobody donated. Man, nobody's been donating today. You guys are the worst. 617 viewers, no trains. Granny's Gambit subscribed. Thank you. You're the best. All right. I donated. You call $4.99 a donation? What are you, German? 9 centidues. Now there's a donation. 5,000 centidues from Fen Beingold. I played your opening. Yeah, Fen Beingold, put your games on Discord. Exclaim Discord. That's where we get the games. We don't want the chat to have a lot of games. Although you get 5,000 centidues. So for the next 5 minutes, all I'm going to do is stare at the 5,000 centidu, emerald, diamond, sapphire thing. Do that thing. I like that. That's just cool the way it does that. Yeah. Knish of Death, 500 centidues. Thank you. See, the 5,000 centidu thing, it does this. I'm not on Discord. No. Exclaim Discord didn't work. Damn. Harsh. We're trying not to plug up like thousands of games in the chat. Although you donated 5,000 centidues. I don't know. Okay. So basically everybody's donating like $1 and yelling at me in the chat. Ugh. The only way you can yell at me in the chat is when you donate 5,000 centidues. Then you can yell at me in the chat. Everybody donated $1, $5, $10. You all did that. And I have 800 games to look at. So I know you think you're special, but Knish of Death gave 5 subs. Yeah, put it in the chat. But I'm gonna have to do Kangaroo first because he's been waiting. Okay, and also he played Komsky and you didn't. That's the other reason. Okay, we'll get rid of this. Delete message. Okay, Komsky. Kangaroo Komsky. You can't beat that unless the guy gives you 5,000 centidues. That might do it. Okay, I'm supposed to, hold on. How do I make white? What do I do here? Let's see. How do I say that white is somebody? I don't know. There should be a way to enter white's name. I know I've done it. Yeah, that ain't it. Oh yeah, it is right here. Yeah. So, Kangaroo Komsky. All right, there we go. Kangaroo's not even his name, but I did it anyway. Well, I could fix it, I guess. 55. Komsky FFL. All right. Now to get yelled at by the guy who gave me 5,000 centidues and I'll never donate again. Damn. Okay, so confusing Fen Beingold. This is actually Komsky against one of my mods. What? Ridiculous. Yeah, no, this is Komsky. This is actually Komsky. Yeah, this is Kangaroo Komsky. 5-minute game. Yeah. I think you analyzed this game, Kangaroo, and you said Komsky played 99 or something, and you played 98. Yeah, I don't know how it happened. I don't know how they played a 5-minute game. Maybe Kangaroo's got some extra cash or something. I don't know. 3-minute game, yeah. Okay, so Kangaroo's white. We got King's Indian. Plays the same-ish variation, never play F3. Okay, Komsky plays the burn variation, which is C6, A6, B5. I've played this with black also. I don't think taking is the most accurate. You can take either way here, actually, but he took with the A pawn. Okay. And the engine says it's about equal. Okay. Good game. Everything's for 3-minute game, especially. Every move good. Well, knight F2 is good. Well, Queen A5 is okay. You know, I wouldn't play A3, but the engine likes A3. I wouldn't play A3. Oh, maybe I would. I play A3 when I play F3 Benko with white. BA3, Queen A5. Yeah, the engine says you guys play like perfect. Rook A3, take, CD, bishop takes D4, knight takes D4 is also good. All right, and the engine says this is about equal. Now in this position, the engine was considering taking on C5, which strategically you don't want to do, but tactically you might, because you play rook C1, and it's very hard to defend the pawn. So if you win the pawn, even if later in the game you lose the A pawn, it seems like it should be a draw. E5 is also good because you're trading pawns. You made a very natural move. You were afraid, you know, taking your bishop and your pawns. You play bishop A5, B5, A4. So bishop B5 is a very natural move. Bishop D7 is good, getting rid of that bishop. You played rook B1. I mean, this is a 3-minute game. This is a really good 3-minute game. It's funny, if I was black, which I wasn't, I would be really tempted to play rook B8 here. I'm surprised Komsky took the bishop. I'm not saying rook B8's better. It'd just be hard not to play rook B8 because it pins your bishop. So that's weird that he wasn't tempted to do that. Okay, knight FD7. Yeah, like as Spencer pointed out on Karen's stream, I think he pointed it out, this pawn's more likely to be weak than strong. That pawn, these knights aren't helping that pawn. So that pawn's just weak. Yeah. Okay, so taking's good. Knight D4 looks good. Knight C2 looks forced. Yeah, knight D1 is the engine move. Yeah, just like slightly worse here. Okay, now you gave your pawn up. And the engine plays a really tricky move here. Rook B1, which I would never consider. And the idea is, after rook B1, if he takes it, you can pin his rook. I would never consider that. So rook B1, like, temporarily will save your pawn. Again, it's a 3-minute game, so, you know, what you did was fine. Knight E3, check, king G3. And here you resigned, and you said you were going to lose on time, I think. Yeah, this is probably lost with best play, but it's close. If two super grandmasters were playing, I would expect black to win probably like 70% of the time and then draw 30%, or maybe even more. Maybe 80% to 20. Maybe. I mean, you played probably better than I would in a 3-minute game. So, you know, Komsky played virtually flawlessly that game. Virtually, frankly. The problem with that game was you didn't put enough pressure on him. You played solid, and he played solid. And he's better than you. But if you make some threats, even if they're bad, maybe he'll mess up. But you didn't really make a big threat like, uh-oh, now Kamsky better watch out. You didn't, attack or anything. You just played like, I'm white, I'll win like Karpov would. And you're not Karpov. Truth hurts. Now, in my opinion, which could be wrong, I'm not a fan of taking this. I don't think that's right. Because you're letting him activate either his bishop, his rook, or his knight, or all three. These pieces suck because these pawns are here. So the engine doesn't mention this move even exists. You could just play bishop d3, knight e2, castles like you did. If he takes and you take, he has isolated pawn, his pawns are weak. If he plays b4, you move your knight like you did, or even a4, and these pawns are bad. Like they're stopping his pieces. So actually, in my opinion, I don't like that move. That helps him. It doesn't help you. Now he has a6 for his pieces, and he's got his rook on the a file, and you traded this pawn for that pawn. So I think that's your first where you're giving your advantage away as white, and this is just equal. And then you were slightly outplayed because he's Kamsky. And even though the engine liked a3, I don't like a3 because of what happened. Trade, your a pawn was weak. So the engine plays a3, but I don't like it. I would, rook fc1, that makes sense to me. I'm not a fan of the engine play here. Does it want to take with the pawn or the rook? Let's take with the rook. It says this is equal, but I'd rather have black. Yeah, bishop b5 is definitely a mistake. Because what happens later in the game is your pawn's just weak. You have to take drastic measures now. Take here. See, put some pressure on him, make a threat. Yeah, and also, if he defends that, you could play like a4, bishop b5. Then your knight can go to d3. See, that pawn's weak. That pawn's weaker than this pawn now, because you're attacking it. So the engine says everything is all zeros here. It says everything is all zeros. Because I think it thinks in the long run, you're going to win this, and he's going to win that. And you'll trade a couple minor pieces, and it's just a draw. But again, it's a 3-minute game, so I don't really fault anything you did. It's 3 minutes. You play better than I would have. 3-minute chess, I hang all my pieces. In my opinion, you played way too good that game. It's a 3-minute game. You usually don't play that well. My opinion. That was pretty good. Pretty good. All right, now I got Fit de Bucks. It's not my best game. Black can do this. Okay, Fen buying gold. He gave 5,000 centidues, so somehow he moves to the top of the list. Not sure how. Oh yeah, that's right, the 5,000 centidues. Somehow he didn't. Man, what happened? There's no move one. $40. You said you analyzed my game first. I don't think you did. Is GS1. Okay. GS1. 5,000 centidues again. Take that. Damn, he showed me. Now, first of all, wait a minute here. There's no 1 here, so we got to fix that. Okay. Now let's get rid of this garbage, because it might not work in the PGN. Okay. Oops. And then, all right, let's see if that works. Okay, good. Then I can do this. And you were black, I guess. So, Rufus versus Fen. I don't even know how to spell buying gold. Is this how you do it? I don't even know how you do it. I don't know what you do. Okay. No, I mean, if everybody's fighting for the front of the line, here's $50, here's $100. All right, I'll take some backlash for that. But if you guys are like, 7 years ago, you told me you'd analyze my game, and I gave you 40 cents, and what's happening? All right, I'll have you killed. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I spelled it right. No, some. I sent you a game review on Discord. I have, again, Pawn Grubber and everybody else. I got like 80 games I have to look at. Yours is one of them. All 80 of you gave me $1,000,000. So I don't know what you want me to do. I'll look at your game. All right, flip the board so we can see black at the bottom. Man, people get furious when I do that. They hate when black's at the bottom. But I don't like you guys, so okay. Okay, and you won this game, but you were still complaining. So you're about 2,300 or more, and your opponent's 2,300 according to you, right? Yeah. Rotate the board again? Damn. It's weird how there's a lot of people on the internet and not on the internet who hate when black is at the bottom. They hate it. That's right. Rotate the board so it's sideways. Ooh. Okay, so here's the game. What was the time control, Fen? Was this 5 minute or 5 hours, etc.? Anybody? 3-0? Okay, all these games are 3-0. Okay. So these are two 2,300 players. Okay, I have black in this position a lot. Well, it's playing like me. I can't argue. Engine doesn't like bishop g4, likes bishop f1. Always play bishop f1. Because now you have knight d3. Your knight's coming in there. Okay, it says it's equal now. Yeah, I mean, black's game's great here. Yeah, bishop g4 wasn't good. Bishop a6, a move I would never consider. It says everything's equal, but it doesn't like bishop a6. I understand bishop a6. You're giving him the fusta fazoo here. All right. Yeah, b5 is the natural move, but then he can't take it open the b file. So you play bishop back, and you can open the a file if you want. b5 is still the right move. Okay, he defended his pawn this way. He saved his bishop. You defend. Okay, good. I don't like that move. He's unpinning his knight, but strange move. You could play b5 here, and probably black's better. You have two bishops, and you're opening up for your pieces here. Yeah, again, b5 you could play. Probably you should take this, because your dark square bishop isn't so good. Man, this guy's in love with bishop g4. Jesus Christ. That's not a good move. Yeah, you can just take twice now on b4 and your knight goes to c5. Oh, that's what you did. Good. Yeah. Yeah, this is good for black's winning. Rook takes b4 is a blunder, I guess. Yeah, rook takes b4 is a blunder. He has to move this rook somewhere. Now you're actually winning. You're threatening his rook. You're threatening his bishop. I mean, that's just, tactics 101. Yeah, he has to move his rook now. So then if you play knight c5, he can save his and take this later. Yeah, it's just an attack and a discovered attack. Double attack. You know those attacks that are like double attacks? He played knight c1, that's the engine move. You're up in exchange. Rook a2 is good. Queen c7 is good. Knight dc1? Ugh. God, what terrible. God. I'm so mad looking at those knights. And he resigned, yeah. I mean, he blundered. He let you take twice and play knight c5 and didn't see how his pieces were hanging. Man, your opponent was in love with bishop g4. Your opponent played bishop g4 until he had to resign because of it. I mean, if I played that game, I'd be really happy because I was black, equalized pretty easy, won. You were never in trouble. I don't know. Seemed good. Those are the kind of games I like to win with black. Yeah. I would say this superfluous. I would. Man, the guy played bishop g4 a lot. He likes bishop g4. All right, and white resigned here because white's getting crushed. Yeah, I mean, I stole it from Anand, but yeah, that seemed to work out pretty well for you. Your game was always reasonable. You probably had more time, stuff like that. Yeah, I play on both sides. Just depends on what's going on. You know, like when I beat Mamajarov, I eventually won on the king side, but there was a lot of action everywhere. Yeah. See, the thing is, if you play the opening like hundreds of times, like I do, and maybe you will, and also Aronian plays it a lot. He doesn't necessarily play knight f8, knight g6, but he plays those block Benonies. He doesn't do it in slow tournaments very often, but he does it a lot in blitz, bullet, rapid, a lot, even against the best players in the world. And he even did it against me in St. Louis. We played outside the chess club. I played him a blitz game, and he played that with black, where you move around. I sacked all my pieces, then I resigned. I show 2c5 to Fedorowicz. 2c5? You mean 3e5? Come on, Fedorowicz plays the Benko. What are you talking about? Yeah. On the internets. Yeah, the problem with Fedorowicz as a chess coach, and this is weird because of his personality, is he's very dogmatic. Fedorowicz is there's the right way and there's the wrong way, and there isn't like, what about this? He's like, that's the wrong way. I'm like, all right. Yeah, I mean, Fedorowicz doesn't like when you have imagination. He just likes when you do what he tells you because he's better than you. All right. He's better than you, but there's room for imagination in chess and playing the way you like to play. And he's very dogmatic, like the Dutch loses, and that opening loses, and everything loses, and these variations all lose. All right. Yeah. No, I love John too. No, he's not boring. He's the opposite of boring. But in chess, he likes certain ways of playing and doesn't like certain other ways of playing. No, John will play the Najdorf all day and has all kinds of great ideas. But if you have ideas that aren't his ideas, he doesn't like that. So, yeah. I'm much more, you do what you want. You might lose, but just keep paying me. And John's like, I told you not to do that. You're fired. Get out of here. Huh. Yeah, when I say he's opinionated, there's no gray area for John Fedorowicz. You play the moves he tells you, and if you don't, he's like physically will attack you. Not even kidding. He'll get mad. He'll yell at you, swear at you. Yeah. Like, I told you that sucks. What are you doing? Like, he thinks you forgot, not that you don't agree with him. All right. Now, good player, though. Man, kick your ass. Obviously, he's old now, but he used to be young. Let's see. Somebody really yelled at me. I forgot who it was. They were like, you suck, and I gave you money, and I hate you. And look at my game. Android 24601 subscribe. Man, no trains yet. Maybe we had it. Here it is, Pawn Grubber. No, it wasn't Pawn Grubber. Somebody was yelling at me much more than Pawn Grubber. Much more. I lost it. Who was really, really, really mad at me? Who was it? They were going to come get me. Did the Braves win yet? He's got now. There it is. Jody Long GS1 on Discord. All right, let's see here. Wait, is it Joe Bog? Wait a minute. On Discord. Wait, how can your name be so close to Joe Bog? I'm very confused. Your name is... Hold on. Jody Long. And that's different. GS1 on Discord. That's not Discord. There it is. I played black today, 10-minute rapid. I mean, you're like the 400th guy who put a game up. I don't understand. This is today you put this game up? Why am I getting yelled at by you? There's like 40 people ahead of you in line. Why am I getting yelled at? What? All right. I mean, you did yell more than anybody else, so I guess that's why. I played black today, 10-minute rapid. It's just the final position? I don't understand. 400 centidues maybe? 409 centidues. So I copied and pasted the fen, and it gave me the final position, but not the game. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. A fen just gives you a position, right? It doesn't give you a game, right? Am I right? I think I'm right. Am I right? You can't look at a game with a fen, just with a PGN, right? Yeah. Yeah, so you put the fen in Discord, and that's the final position. That's the fen, but that's not the game. So that's all I got. All right, but I did get yelled at you a lot by you a lot. That's good. Forgot about that. I mean, there's like 800. Okay, wait, this is another fen? Wait, what's this? Is this the same fen? This is 3 minutes ago. Wait, I got to copy this and see what this is going to be funnier. This is making the stream funny. That's the fen of the starting of the E4. Okay, well, this isn't working out too well. All right, so we'll get back to you, and you can yell at me some more for no reason. I mean, this game doesn't even make any sense. The game Joe Blog sent is like just a nonsense game. Okay, then that game... These games that you guys are sending me are very strange. I won this game by resignation. All right, this is from the Suspenser. Suspenser's white. He won this game by resignation. Okay. And then I'll get yelled at by people if I ever read the chat again. Check niche of death. Damn. Post defend for every move. Check text from me. Jesus Christ. He gave 5 subs. Ugh. All right. I'll just stop doing this because I don't like the people complaining. I mean, I'll do it this stream, but I don't like these streams anymore. You guys are like, I gave you $1. I sent you the game yesterday. I got like 80 games. Everybody gave me $1. All right. So we're not going to do this anymore. This is way too annoying for me. This is my last stream where I'm doing game analysis. You guys all suck. All right, let's see. If you guys didn't suck, this would be a fun thing to do. But you guys just suck. There's nothing to say about it. All right. And then, let's see. I don't even know whose game this is anymore. This is... Okay, I got to delete this game. Get rid of this. I don't even know whose game this is now. I already deleted it. Oh, this is Suspenser. Yeah. So... Spencer... versus, oh no, you didn't. Okay, and then Suspenser's white. All right. Right, the way to do this is I look at the games in order. That's what I do. But then somebody's like, you told me yesterday, look at my game, and I gave you $3 yesterday, and I subbed 2 years ago, and I'm going to paste the game in the chat. If you guys are going to like be all mad, you got to do what Fem Beingold did and give me $100. Then you can be as mad as you want. Imagine if 10 of you gave me $100. Then I wouldn't care what you say. Yeah, terrible. Yeah, we're going to have to change it where it's just like a huge donation to look at your game, and then I won't look at any games. Yeah. I didn't care about the train. Train can go to hell. Okay, Suspenser's white. Okay. This isn't the most exciting position. God damn. All right. B3 and B6 don't make a lot of sense. So in this position, this is actually pretty funny. We talk about this on stream a lot. Black played queen d7, lining his queen and bishop up, attacking the pawn, but white wasn't suspicious. White didn't see that as threatening. He's like, queen d7, all right, my move. It threatened something, but it wasn't so obvious. It was just like, normal developing move. Not really, yeah. But yeah, I don't know, b3, a4, I don't know about that. All right, so black's up a pawn. Black's up a pawn, good. Trapping his knight, all right, untrapping. Bishop h6 isn't very good because of rook h1. Yay, you donated. Here is more money. I can't even read what that says. Let's see if it's more than $1. Come on, $2. $20. God damn. Man, you're next. $20. Okay. So I say this a lot on the stream, and I don't really blame you guys, although I sound like I do. I'm like, "Rawr, you suck." But I understand why you do it. Sometimes I do it too. You guys make a move, and when I used to teach a lot of chess, another reason I don't teach anymore, I would say to my student, what did you think your opponent would do here? And the answer was always, I don't know, always, 100%. And there were two reasons for that. The main reason, and this is annoying, there's nothing I can do about this. My student had no idea, that my student didn't remember playing the game. Like, let's say you're 1500, whoever you are, and you played a tournament game, and you won, lost, or drew, doesn't matter. And you're like, oh, Ben Feingold's my coach. Next week, I'm going to show him that game. Okay? Next week, you show me the game. You don't remember anything about the game. You don't remember what color you had. You don't remember what variations you analyzed during the game, what you were thinking. You didn't analyze the game in the interim. So when I ask you questions, you're like, I don't know. So then it's hard to get better at chess when you don't recognize the game as your own. You're just like, I played a game. And then then nothing. I don't remember playing the game. I don't remember anything about it. What you need to do, if you have a chess coach, is if you ever look at a game with them, ever, you have to do a lot of analysis beforehand, okay? And preferably very soon thereafter the game. You got to write that shit down, okay? On move 5, I thought he'd play h3, but he played knight c3. Write that shit down. Tell your coach, okay? And if your coach ever says like, hey, why didn't you play this tactic? Your answer should be, I saw that tactic, but I thought it didn't work because of this variation. Or, oh, I didn't see that tactic. Or, the most common, I don't know, I don't remember this game. You can't get better at chess when you play chess, and then it's like you didn't play. It's like, I played that game, but there's nothing in there. I don't remember playing that game. You guys are always shocked. How do you remember that game from 35 years ago? Because I played the game. I remember the ideas. That's why I'm better. I'm better now than when I was 6 years old. If I played chess games and then they just were out of my mind completely, I never remember nothing. My rating would be the same my whole life. I wouldn't get any better. So you got to whatever you did right, whatever you did wrong, whatever your opponent did right, whatever they did wrong, the variations you analyzed that happened or didn't happen, you got to write that shit down and tell your coach. So in this position, if my student was black and I was like, oh, you played bishop h6 pinning the knight, you're threatening f6 winning a piece, or queen e7 pinning the knight some more, what did you think your opponent would do? It's at least 100%. They would say, I don't know. When grandmasters analyze their own games, or with their coach who's a grandmaster, they, this is what I thought, So here, if I was black, and I played here, I would think my opponent's going to play rook h1, or my opponent's going to play f4. And like, that's it. I don't know what else they're going to do. It turns out this move is interesting because knight f6 check wins the queen. I wouldn't see that. Once I saw rook h1, I wouldn't play bishop h6. Black's still better, but I wouldn't do it. Yeah. So f5 is a good move. f4, rawr, Papa John's. Okay, rook h1, and then you blundered. Well, okay, black blundered. Black has to take this, and he played king g7. It's a ridiculous move. A very easy tactic, which was not played. Rook takes bishop, always sack the exchange. And now I'm assuming a lot of moves win. I assumed correctly. And the obvious win is this, because it stops the king from going back. And then queen g5 mate is the next move. So you can't take the rook. So, I mean, after rook takes bishop, black just resigns. Now, how do you see the move rook takes bishop? Thanks for asking. You should always look at checks and captures. So you should look at knight e6 check, rook takes bishop, knight h7, and knight f7, and queen c5. Goddamn, queen c5 shouldn't take you too long. And after rook takes, king takes, sacking the exchange, you see the queen and knight lined up against the king. Black's only defensive piece is missing. It's pretty easy to find. I mean, and this is mate, but if it wasn't mate, rook h1 check is also winning. Okay, so king g7 is really bad, and then not taking is really bad. Okay, f6 is losing. Never play f6. And f6 is a blunder. He should take the knight on g5, and he's slightly better. Now everything wins. The engine says this wins, this wins, this wins. f6, never play f6. It loses to everything. Every move wins. And the engine says they all win by a lot. Like this is +7, this is +6. Yeah. Okay, you played one of the winning moves. Queen takes is also a blunder. Game's over now. You have to move it doesn't matter, but this is more losing. Okay, knight c7 is a bad move. It wins, but queen takes is just mate. Only legal move, only legal move, okay, and so forth. So taking the pawn with check was better. Play knight c7 when it's check. After here, black has one legal move, and then here, and that's it. Analysis is over. This also wins. Okay. And now you took the rook instead of playing checkmate. You have to look at all checks and captures. This is checkmate. So you should have played that. All right, you took the rook. Okay, white's still winning. Don't understand queen h7, but all right. Queen h8. All right. No reason for that move. Rook e8. Okay, when you played queen h8, when you played queen h8, if you're watching the stream, Suspenser, you knew after rook takes, you'd win the queen. And after here, you didn't do the same trick, the one you just set up. You didn't do it. You were like, ooh, a pawn. Shiny. And then the game ended. All right, good game. Witching Hour 1 subscribed. What about h6? What's funny is white could have won much more easily, like 6 times, and white really won easily. So, I mean, that's how much he won. I'm like, this would have won more easily. This would have won more easily. It's hard to imagine more easily than this. You know? So, yeah. All right, now who's yelling at me? I think 3 people are yelling at me now. Let's see. That's guy. All right. Hopefully his game is in Discord. I'm getting confused. You guys always have different names across platforms, so I don't even know who's, Jesus. You guys got to take All right, so Knish of Death gave 5 subs, and I've been told to look at his game, but I don't see it. So where's the game? I don't see it in Discord. Is it in Streamlabs? Is it in the chat? Where is it? It's me, GS1. What? Right, you've been yelling, but I've been getting yelled at by text for somebody else. It's in chess.com. What? Ugh. All right, I guess it was in Discord. Okay. I guess I have to look at somebody else's game. All right. The guy who keeps putting the wrong thing in, but he fixed it. In theory, in practice, something. Copy link, open link. What's going on here? My stream's banned. All right. And then download. Okay, this guy gave $20. Not as much as the guy who gave 5 subs, but close. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Is this right? Dun, 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 dun. Wait, Jody Long did $40 and then did $20? Damn. Get that guy a refund. Damn. And Knish of Death gave 5 subs and 500 bits. Now, Knish of Death, after I do this game, is your game in Discord under Knish of Death, or am I getting tricked and it's some other game? There it is, Knish of Death. Oh, it's a link. Okay. Okay, you're next, Knish of Death. I mean, when I say you're next, you're not going to be next. I'm going to get yelled at to do somebody else. But. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this guy gave like $40 and $20 and some other money probably that I missed. So he's due a refund. All right. He's playing the triplet. Okay, a little passive there, but all right. Castles is risky. So you're pinned here. So I would play h6 because I don't like that pin. I mean, I would. And you could also take this and play knight d4. That way, when you play c6, his knight can't stay on d5. See, there's several things you can do when they pin you like this. You can try h6. You can try bishop e6 and takes, which I don't like because you play bishop g4. Or you can move your knight and play c6 and kick him out. So bishop takes, knight d4, c6, Papa John's, then the knight can't go here. Castles is a little risky. Okay, I don't like white's move at all. That's why he's the triplet. I would definitely go here. Bishop h6, that unpins the knight. So that's shallow and pedantic. You played correctly. That's right. Knight e2. I mean, that's an annoying, I'm not allowing that. Yeah, the engine says like bishop here. Yeah, f4 later. Knight e2. I don't like that move. Okay, what you did was fine. You could also take this if you're greedy. The engine's greedy. I like messing the pawns up too, but this is, pawn's a pawn. Move your knight back there later, I guess. All right. This is better for black. You could also play f5. Also a good move. Queen f6 is good. Okay, that's nuts. Okay, so let me explain. Okay. It's not enough to explain that moves are good and bad. You have to get into the head of the person who played the moves and figure out why they did it. This is easy for me. This is like all I do when I teach chess. When the opponent makes a dumb move, I'm like, this is why they made the dumb move. Don't fall into that trap. When white played king h1, he didn't care what black did. He didn't care at all. All he cared about was he was doing. You could have illegally played king g7, and he would have just let you play king takes queen. He don't care. When he played king h1, he's playing rook g1. He doesn't care what you do. So when you threaten this pawn, which also is check and wins the knight, that's pretty devastating. So white has to play king g2 or queen e3 or knight g1, just defending the pawn. And this happens to a lot of people. They don't pay attention to what their opponent's doing. They're like, this is what I'm doing, and that's when you blunder. The queen f6 is really obviously threatening this. One of the reasons it's obvious is not because it was the last move, which makes it obvious. I move my queen's threatening something. It's that even before, when this position occurred for the first time, this pawn structure, if I was white and I was told, you're going to lose a pawn soon. This is the main, that's the pawn I'm going to lose. That pawn's not defended. The queen can attack it. And these pawns I will never, ever, ever lose. Never. Those pawns I'll never lose. I could lose these pawns. It's just hard to see how. I could, but it's hard to see how. This one is doubled and not defended, and it sucks. So that's the pawn I'm worried about. Then this is just, ruins the game. The game's ruined. Because the engine said like white was a little better, black was better, black was a lot better, black's a little better, and then white hangs all his pieces. And we talk about this on the stream every time. You guys are always asking me, should I get this book on strategy by Dvoretsky and Yusupov? And I'm like, you hang a queen every move, and when you don't hang a queen, your moves are illegal. So why are you getting a strategy book? How about getting a book, not hanging mate in one, not hanging your queen? How about that strategy book? How about that for a strategy? So the minuscule mistakes that you guys make don't affect the result of the game. But when you make the worst move in chess history, that affects the result of the game. You can't do that. You can never do that. And you guys do it every game. You guys always do it. Now, you guys at home, like me, like to make fun of the super GMs when they blunder. Oh, Fallujah did that. I would never do that. That's right. Fallujah did something once out of 1,000 games that you do 500 times. Okay? All these guys occasionally blunder. Kramnik hung a mate in one. Carlsen blunders. Kramnik hung a queen. Anand, they all blunder. Okay? You guys blunder 3-4 times a game. They blunder like once a year. When they do blunder, you guys let them have it. Man, 2800s don't play like that against me. Well, you're blundering so much, you don't give them a chance to blunder. So this game was pretty reasonable, and black outplayed white. White's pawn structure is worse, and then white played here, and Yermolinsky would be furious. Yermolinsky's one of the only players I know, maybe the only one. He gets very upset when his opponent blunders, because his opponent ruined the game. The game was going on, the guy hung a queen. And he's like, what is this? I'm trying to play chess here. Why are you hanging your queen? You guys love when your opponent hangs their queen. You're like, yay, I won. All right. So now the game's over. The engine says +8 for black. God damn. I like queen f3. Knight f4 is good. All right. This game has lost significance. God damn. Man, you're mean. All right. Yeah, I mean, if your opponent didn't hang queen takes f3, you were better. But after that, you couldn't stop taking everything. Now, strategically, in this position, knight e2 is just terrible. I mean, you want to go here and destroy his pawn structure. So, I mean, bishop d1, then knight e2. Then maybe white could play f4 later. Here, Jesus Christ. I mean, that's just a terrible move. Yeah, now black's is better. Black's not winning, although maybe Carlsen would win every game. But, if two supercomputers were playing, maybe black would win. I don't know. But, I mean, you can't play worse than white did. Like, white played here, making queen takes f3 check win more than if the king was on g1, and then he ignored it. I mean, you can't play worse. Terrible. Yeah. But you have to realize, if you did not improve your chess, and I'm talking to everybody who's watching now, if none of your chess improved, but moves that take any numerical evaluation of an engine and change it 4 points in your opponent's favor. Example, the engine says you're +1, you make a move, and now you're -3. That's a blunder. The engine says you're -1, you're losing. You make a move, you're -5. That's a blunder. If you never do that, your rating goes up 500 points without improving your chess game at all. It's possible to improve your whole chess game. You've memorized all rook and pawn endgames. You've memorized all king and pawn endings. You know the dragon better than anybody who ever lived. You know the Najdorf. You know the Ruy Lopez. And you've gone from 1500 level at those openings to 2700, to 2800. Could be your rating doesn't change at all. Because when it comes down to it, between moves 15 and 30, you're like, here's my queen, here's my knight, here's my rook, here's mate, and you lose. Because you guys just hang pieces every move. You have to stop doing that. Every game you show me on the stream, somebody makes a move and the engine's like, what the hell is that? You were equal and now it's +25 for your opponent. Now I do that too, but I do it really rarely in slow chess. And I remember when I did it, and I can show you, and it's very embarrassing. Novikov, Shabalov, more than once, probably more than twice. I can't remember, Igor Foigl. God, the Foigl game really makes me mad. There's just games I played where I made a move and then I had to resign when the position was fine. And I've done that against Shabalov like 4 times. I don't know why. Foigl, I did it. I mean, I've played like 3,000 USCF rated slow games. I've done it like 10 times in the last 20 years. You guys do it 10 times per game. And if me and you, whoever you are, 1,400 out there, were the exact same strength at chess in everything, but you guys blundered 3 times a game, and I blunder 3 times a year, otherwise our level's the same, then I'm 1,000 points better than you because you did blunder too much. And this happens when I play 1 minute, 3 minute, and 5 minute on the stream. You guys are like, you're playing an 1,800, you're not outplaying him. You don't have more time. You don't even look better than him. What's wrong with you? And then I score 95%. And I'm not paying attention. If I really wasn't better than an 1,800, I would score 50%. But I score 95, 96% because I don't play better than you, then you hang your queen. I don't hang my queen. So I win. So you won. You played a little bit better than your opponent. I like the way you played better. And you didn't blunder, and he made the worst blunder ever. And your technique was pretty good. That's what she said. So, yeah. Etc. Yeah, that's right. All right, now who am I getting yelled at? Who? Oh, yeah, I know who I'm getting yelled at by. He's not even yelling at me. But I know who's next. I said who was next. I lied. Okay, this isn't even... I'm confusing Discord and Streamlabs because they're both black. Now, I have to say something to you that you're not going to agree with. None of you are going to agree with it. Some of you are going to not only disagree, you're going to, like, disagree the opposite way. Like, you could say, I don't care. This is Ben's point of view, and your point of view is way over there. Okay? I really dislike dark mode and everything. I hate it. I really dislike it. And everybody I know says dark mode. That's the way to do it. I hate that. And I got yelled at a lot for years, why isn't your stream in dark mode? Why isn't Lee Chess in dark mode? Why? So Discord's in dark mode. It's dark. I don't know if it's dark mode. It's dark, and so is Streamlabs. So I'm just like baffled. I'm like, they look the same to me. I hate dark mode. God, I hate when the screen's all black. Boo. Okay, and I know you guys love that. You guys are like, wow. This is the main reason I just hate Discord. And I'm sure in 4 seconds I could just click something and it wouldn't be dark anymore. But I'm too lazy for that. Okay. Don't underestimate how lazy I am. You'll be confused. All right, I'm still trying to look at whatever I'm trying to look at here. That's not it. That's not it. That's it. Okay, Condition of Death is black against a guy 500 points higher rated. 0 mistakes, 4 blunders. Now it's going. Now when I'm downloading, it's going to chess base. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Control C still works. Oh, it's actually here. Okay. Yeah, because it went to chess base. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so Condition of Death is black. He gave 500 centidues and 5 subs, and probably he gave many, many other dozens of subs and centidues, and I missed it. Sounds like me. Man, you guys like posting hundreds, thousands, millions of stuff in Discord, I guess. I guess it's Discord. All right, time to get Freddie Potzer subscribe with Prime. That's the cheapest way to do it. Mithrandir 998 subscribed. Say no to elitism. Say yes to laziness. Yeah, I agree with the laziness. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. My memory is the sharpest what? What's sharp? What's a memory? My memory is very bad, but I remember chess stuff, but not non-chess stuff. Yeah. How do I stop blundering? Play better. There's 3 things you have to do before you make a move. Look for all your opponent's checks. Look for all your opponent's captures. The third thing you're not going to do, if you're like over 2,000, you can. Look for your opponent's threats. I heard a noise, but I don't see it. How's it not there? It already happened? 300 centidues. Dark mode is vegan. Oh, it's true. Is smoking pot bad for chess? Probably. You would expect it should be, right? Now, oh, there it is. Okay, now, in 1988, 1989, I was at Hastings. And I played in the Open tournament, and there was a super duper GM tournament won by Nigel Short that had Short, Spielman, Larson, etc. Mainly etc. Kostin, Smyslov. Not sure if there were 6 or 8 players. It was 8. Anyway, there was a panel Q&A. I don't know. So I went there. And somebody asked the panel, what will we do when somebody invents a drug that makes you play better chess? This was in 88-89. And Bent Larson said, oh, that's already been invented. That exists. And they were like, what? And he said, tranquilizers. Now, I don't really know Bent Larson very well, RIP. But Bent Larson was sort of a wild and crazy guy, which you can tell from his games. So I would think if you're a lunatic, if you're crazy and you take some drugs to make you less crazy, maybe you would play better. I don't know. That's what he thought. Maybe that's what he did. I don't know. Because, Larson was a wild, played real wild chess. So maybe there are drugs that would change your personality that would make you play better, but probably not a good idea. I mean, if you're going to do drugs that calm you down and make you sleepy and make you relaxed, I'm not sure that's good for your chess. Probably not. I'm guessing if you took all the greatest players of all time, whoever you think they are, they probably weren't doing a lot of drugs. Probably not good for your chess. But if you have some friends that do drugs, and you do, they're probably not so good at chess. Know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, just ask the Dutch players. I don't know. Yeah, Spencer just said Timon. Very good. Yeah. PCP, you know what this stuff does to kids? La Boheme. La Boheme. It's an opera. It's an opera. Exactly. All right. Bent had a great sense of humor. It was a little bent, but yeah. All right. I remember we played in a team tournament in approximately 1982. Me, my brother, my dad, and some guy we knew. And he said he was sick on the Saturday morning when the tournament started. Later, I found out he wasn't sick. He had dropped acid, and I've never done any drugs, but when I tell this story to people who have done drugs, they can't believe that somebody could play chess when they're on acid. And he did. I mean, he played the whole tournament. So there you go. Yeah, I would guess drugs is bad. Say no to drugs. Yeah. Yeah, probably not. I don't know. I mean, this is 1982. You're asking me how we did? I don't know. Yeah. COVID. Drugs are bad. MK is correct. Yeah. Okay, so Knish of Death is black. Okay, we got a... Knight c6 is not the preferred move in this position. Basically any other move. Doesn't lose. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, Bishop d2 is way too passive. You shouldn't do that. And then you shouldn't take that. Why are you taking that? What about these guys? Develop your pieces. Bishop f5, knight f6, knight e7. What's this? Why are you doing that? All right, it's the boring world of Niels Bohr. Now you're playing great. Man, everybody's playing great. I've never been so impressed. Freddie Nihilist subscribed. Go Nihilist. I got a funny story about drugs and chess. Alexander Wojtkiewicz, R.I.P., he was a very interesting person. So in 1995-ish, might have been 94, 93. It probably was 94 or 93. It was either 93, 94, 95, 100%. In fact, you could look it up on MSA and tell me. I went to the Continental Open in Los Angeles with my friend Vas Reilich, who later made Ribka. And Alexander Wojtkiewicz was playing. He's, 2670 USCF, 2580 FIDE. Very strong tournament. I lost to Belyavsky, and I played a lot of Grandmasters there. Anyway, in round one, Wojtkiewicz lost to like 2300. Okay, upset. Round two, he played this guy who was like 400 years old. And the guy was like 1900. And Wojtkiewicz was drinking and drinking and drinking. And he does that. I mean, not now because he's dead for some reason. Anyway, man, is he dead. Nobody's ever had more alcohol than Wojtkiewicz in their life. And he died at 43 from too much alcohol. In those 43 years, he packed in a lot of alcohol. Okay. Anyway, I could spend the rest of the stream telling you Wojtkiewicz alcohol stories. But anyway, he's drinking and drinking and drinking. He goes to the bar, drinks, comes back, makes a move, drink. Okay. At some point, he was just drinking at the board. Hard liquor at the board. Okay, the game ended, and Wojtkiewicz lost to this 1900 guy who's like 100 years old. And when the game ended, I mean, they analyzed in the tournament room at the board for like an hour. That's the strangest part of the story. A grandmaster losing in round 1 to like 22, 2300, then losing in round 2 to 1900. They're not going to sit at the board in the tournament room and analyze with the guy forever. And he did. And he was laughing and drinking. I mean, he just didn't care at all. And he withdrew after that. I mean, yeah, so probably drinking not good for your chest. God damn. I got to tell you one more story about Wojo. Yeah. He died in July. And 2 weeks before he died, maybe 3 weeks, he played in the World Open. And there was a guy there who was about 2100, who was a spectator. He hadn't played chess in 25 years. And he was hanging out with another friend of mine. And he's an ER doctor. And he said, "Who's that?" And then my friend said, "That's Alexander Wojciechowicz. He's a grandmaster," so forth. And he says, "That guy should go to the hospital right now. He's dying." During his game, he said, "That guy has to go to the hospital right now." Okay. Wojciechowicz tied for first in that World Open. Okay. A week later, there was a tournament in Columbus, Ohio, which I think I lived in Columbus. I think. Maybe not, but I used to live in Columbus, maybe. Anyway, this was after that. So no, I wasn't living then. And we played in round 4 and we drew, and we beat everybody else. We tied for first. In round 5, Wojciechowicz was completely lost against the 2100, but he tricked him like on move 40, and he won. And then he died like on Thursday. So on Sunday, I played Wojciechowicz, and he tied for first with me, and 4 days later, he's dead. And he was 43. And I have so many drinking stories with him where he drank more alcohol than it's possible. You can't drink that much alcohol. However, his chess was really good, but his body, I mean, amazing he went to 43. So yeah, don't drink. God damn. So yeah, probably knows the answer. No. Okay. In fact, he was so drunk one game, I think he went pee-pee in his Pampers. God damn. All right, knight e4, discovered attack on the knight. Good. Then after here, a Zwischenzug. Not bad. FG6. No. You have to donate more now, Knish of Death. Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah, you open up this diagonal. King is no good. You take towards the center. This is a very bad move. Now, in my opinion, this knight takes c3 also isn't very good. You should just take right away. This knight's a monster. This bishop is a blockaded bishop and is of little value. So you should just play hg here. Your knight's really good. You seem to have a death wish, a Knish of death, where you like to trade everything. Bishop c3, knight c3. Stop trading everything. Don't ever trade ever again. Never. Unless you donate a lot, then okay. All right, now you're losing. Now everything wins for white. He saved his pawn. Good. That's a blunder, losing immediately, and you punished it. Queen takes pawn, white's winning. Knight takes, we have a, removing the defender tactic, which you found. Very good. Good. Now if queen b5, you have c6. So you're winning a piece here. So queen takes d5, winning a pawn for nothing. Bishop takes d5, losing a piece. Chess is hard. This bishop is tenuously defended by the queen, so you got to be careful. It's in black's territory. And knight a5 attacks the queen, attacks the bishop, Papa John's. And you're up a piece. Hooray for you. Then he sacrificed a pawn, probably missing knight takes c4, I'm guessing. Then you're just up a knight for nothing, and you're killing it. God damn, taking everything. Rook e2 is a funny move because if your opponent plays rook h7, you have to play king g8. If you take, you lose. So you have to play king g8, and you're still winning. So rook e2 is, your rook's good here blocking the queen. You should play rook f8 and attack that way. You're still winning, but rook h7 would have been annoying. Now you have an amazing checkmate, which you played. Jesus Christ. Knight e3 check is amazing. Pawn takes is illegal. Rook takes gets mated 6 ways from Sunday. So that's just mate. Somehow you didn't mate him right away. I don't know. Queen g2. That's also winning. Just rook takes is mate. And then queen g3 mate. That doesn't matter. Now queen g3 is mate again. And you played here. What? It's queen g3 mate with advantage. All right, now rook g3 is mate. But you played here. All right. Okay, and then everything's mate in 3. You played a mate in 4. Good enough. Okay, it doesn't matter. You just have quicker mates, but it doesn't matter. Okay, now, one thing you definitely don't want to do here, Knish of Death, is take on a2. Okay, the a2 pawn is your insurance policy for never stalemating him. Never. It's impossible to stalemate him because he can move his pawn. So you don't ever take that. Now you have to watch out for stalemate the rest of the game. That pawn is useless. That pawn's ridiculous, frankly. What? You hung your queen to the rook? Must have been a pre-move. Okay. Yeah, all right. Didn't take the rook. This must have been some pre-moves or something. I don't know. All right, good game or something. I saw Wojo's bar tab at the Chicago Open. My jaw hit the floor. That is correct. Man, Wojo was going to drink. God damn. Yeah, Wojo wasn't kidding. Meepex. All right, Meepex, let me tell you a story. I'm going to skip the first part of the story. First part of the story is Wojo drinking so much it's not possible. I can't even tell you the story because you won't believe me. So we're going to skip that part. I'm in Vegas. I mean, Wojo almost died, but hotel security said he's alive, then they left. That was their goal, was to see if he was alive. Okay. Unconscious for 2 days. Anyway, I came back from Vegas. And then on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, because I came back Sunday or Monday, I went to a bridge tournament in Farmington Hills, Michigan. I'm driving on 696, Interstate Highway, and I'm on it for like 4 miles, and I see a cop on the side of the road every quarter mile. Cops everywhere. Oh, cops. Okay? I'm like, all right. They're just sitting there. I get to the bridge tournament, and I said, hey, there's a lot of cops on 696. And they said, oh, yeah. They said 2 or 3 days ago, or something like that, a drunk driver hit an SUV and he killed a whole family, but he wasn't injured. And his blood alcohol was 0.58. So then I said, yeah, his blood alcohol was 0.58. So I went home, turned on the TV, and they had a news story about it, and his blood alcohol was 0.58. Now, if your blood alcohol is 0.58, how do you get into a car, turn the ignition, put it in drive, and drive the car? What? God damn. Anyway, I taught a chess camp later that year in Arizona. One of the chess teachers was a police officer. True story. And I told him the story. He said in his whole life, the most he heard of in his where he was 0.44. So 0.58, he'd never heard of that. God damn. Yeah. Now, I don't know what Wojo's blood alcohol was the few days before in Vegas, but I'm sure it was in competition with 0.58 from what I saw. God damn. Yeah. You hear me talking, hillbilly boy? Yeah. It means 0.58%. No, it means 58%. Point 0.08 0.08 is legally drunk. So he was 7 times that. The guy in Michigan who yeah. '70s or '80s, god damn. I don't know why the police were there. I mean, I guess they were stopping drunk drivers. I don't know. Yeah. Pickle Rick seems low for a Russian. God damn. Damn, driving down 696 right now. Be careful. Damn. Oh, 0.06 in Manhattan? So the guy was 9 to 10 times the legal limit? Go Wojo. Anyway, yeah, probably drinking is bad. Probably. Yeah. Unless you lose a few games. Then, yeah, drinking and driving is the worst. Because then you kill everybody. So that's bad. Then your nickname is COVID. Hotspot for drunk driving. I mean, Wojo died because of his alcoholism. I mean, his body gave up. I mean, that's what happened. Whatever he died of, if he had never had alcohol in his life, he wouldn't have died of that. Frankly, terrible. Yeah, fried liver is correct. Man. I hate alcohol. Man, in Vegas, Wojo drank so much alcohol in like a 14-hour period. I don't understand it. Like how he could pick his arm up and do it. I don't understand it. I wonder if he was unconscious while he was doing it. And he was playing $200 hand blackjack while he was doing it. Yeah, I'm good. All right, who's next? Nobody's yelling at me. What's going on? Terrible. I'm not getting yelled at. I'm not trying. All right, I'm still not in Discord. I'm in Streamlabs. Oh, I hate Streamlabs and Discord. Oh, I hate all these games. Terrible. All right, McJurgle, you're like some VIP, so we'll look at your game. I am black. Where did I go wrong? Woe is me. Yeah, I like that. All right. It's McJurgle. Okay, and then do what Karen said. You guys donate $100 each. McJurgle, that doesn't look right. That looks wrong. Oh, I shouldn't put a capital J, that's why. Oh, no, he didn't. All right. Even the capital M is wrong. I like that. Woe is me. That's good. Sounds like what I would say. All right, back to the chat where I can get yelled at. Rhymes too. I thought it was MC Jurgle. That is correct. I keep sending my game, but I'm not seeing it show up. Damn. Harsh. Is it Streamlab or Discord? I don't know. I'm here. Yay. Yeah. Okay, so McJurgle's black. He lost. He's like, what did I do wrong? The answer is fries. All right, we got the King's Indian, same-ish King's Indian. Bishop d3 is an unusual move. Unusual. So far, you're playing great. Normally, you sacrifice a pawn here to get active play against the king. I refer you to the game Laputian-Kasparov 1976, although Laputian had played b4. But yeah, Kasparov took with this pawn and got compensation. All right. Queen c7 is never the right move. That's not a good square for your queen. Knight can go here, knight can go here, rook can go here. You definitely don't want to do that. You could play knight h5 and try to play f5. You can play rook c8. You can play a6 and try to play b5 later. The queen's bad on c7. You could play knight d7 to c5. Definitely not queen c7. Okay, now he has the two bishops, and he has the what else? Well, a3 is not a good move. Good. Okay, now you're getting closer to equality. Still worse. Queen a5. Got to watch, make sure your queen's not trapped. Yeah, the engine really hates queen a6 because you're losing your a7 pawn. I guess you have to play queen a4 here. Probably just queen a4 or, yeah. Yeah, queen a6, you're trading queens and you're losing your a pawn. Yeah, you didn't do a good job with your queen here. You had to move your knight and play f5 or move your knight here and try to go there. This is queen c7, queen a5, queen a6. Yeah, now your a pawn's hanging permanently. Okay, I don't like what he's doing here, but he's still better because your pawns are terrible. All right, so you try to get counterplay now, but it's too late. Can you just queen? No, b5, no. You can't just queen? I guess not. Now, wait a minute. You played here, g5, and he took. Yeah, don't do that. You can't just give up a pawn and let him have the e4 square. So g5 was like a blunder of a pawn. Damn. Wow, this is hopeless. So what did you do wrong? Probably you should take with the pawn here and sack a pawn and try to play d5. You've castled and his king is here. So if you take, and let's say he wins a pawn, which is probably why you didn't take with a pawn. Now d5, and you try to get some counterplay, Kasparov style. Rawr. Okay, so that's interesting anyway. Knight c6, you just sort of slightly worse because your pawn's weak. Queen c7 is just bad. Yeah, knight d7 is c5, knight h5, f5, a6, b5, queen a5. Yeah, and the problem is, that was my mistake there. Yeah, the problem is he has two bishops and your bishop's not very good here. Even here it wants you to play knight d4, sack a pawn, open that bishop up. Get rid of these pieces. Yeah, for example, let's say this happened. You could get a good knight versus bad bishop scenario. The knight has these squares, the queen has this square, your rooks have open files. His bishop is shallow and pedantic. When you play the King's Indian, you got to get counterplay and play interesting chess. You played sort of slow and passive and worse, and it got worse and worse and worse. And then you can't play queen a5, queen a6 and just lose the endgame. Yeah, here queen a4 is like the last hope. Yeah, this ending's terrible because you're going to lose this pawn, and your bishop's no good. So like some tiny mistakes. Tiny. Very tiny. I agree. Shallow and pedantic. Papa John's is correct. Let's see. What are you guys saying in the chat? Who knows? Not I, not I. That's correct. I'm here. Hello. Am I a good bridge player? I don't know, 17, 1800. Should I finish my homework? No. Boo. All right, whoa, what happened to my phone? Oh, it died. Damn, I gotta plug my phone in. And there's no plug over there. I guess I could move this plug. I hate moving though. It's a good thing I don't have to move too much. Are people still here? And if so, why? My phone's deader than Dillinger. I hope he's dead. Otherwise, it's not funny. All right, fixed. Papa John's. 1.33 seems like a lot. That's like, what, 13 drunk people? 500 centidues, traveling chef 78. Hooray. Go traveling chef. Let's start another train. I'm getting tired over here. These streams are exhausting. 500 centidues, MC Jurgle, also McJurgle. That's right, you did not hang mate in one. That's correct. What do I think of Levy? You mean David Levy, the founder of computer chess? Mepex, 100 centidues, go train. That's correct. I guess we can't have a train because we just had 3 back to back to back. Darn, no train. 300 centidues, Zan 13. Gotham Chess? Never heard of them. Making stuff up. All right. Too tired to stream anymore. These streams take it out of me. I've never hated my viewers as much as I do today. I mean, not really. I just hate you a normal amount. All right. There's just too many games in the game analysis requests. This is terrible. I have to get rid of some of them because they're so bad. I'm just going to get rid of the ones that are terrible. Yeah, I don't want to look at that. Delete. And then delete this for no reason. That game's terrible. My phone's alive. Okay, that game's nonsensical, so we'll delete that. And they're all nonsensical. Oh yeah, this is the guy who accused you of cheating. So I have to look at that game. This is Kovacic. It's a 5-minute game against a 2100 player who accused him of cheating after the game. I like the story, so we'll have to look at that game because I like the story. It was posted a couple of days ago, I think. Okay. Get rid of that. Did it like this. On 1424 locked. Okay. Now back to the chat where they're yelling at me. All right, who's yelling at me? Random Potzer. Let's see. Not gonna like it. Gotham of Levy, Roseman, IM. I've never heard of IMs. This is a very elitist stream. Only GM and higher. That's right. Well, he accused him. J'accuse. You know, what do you want me to do? Nobody is yelling. Very suspicious. All right. So he said he won. His opponent accused him of cheating. Black is like 2100. 5-minute game, I think he said. All right, still theory. Looks good for white. White's playing great. Black's playing pretty well too. Knight f5. Takes. Accused you of cheating, but the engine says castles is the right move. G3 is the second best move, and knight here's the third best move. And you played the human move, forking the queen and rook, which the engine says doesn't give you an advantage. Right, queen f2 is the only move. Bishop f4 is good. All right, so the engine says you should either castle or play knight f1. You castled. All right, now your rook's defended, so you can take that. And he blundered. Like, that move's... Okay, now, I just gave a long tirade about... Wait, is long tirade redundant? I just gave a tirade about... I mean, I changed what I was going to say in the middle of it. About you can't make moves that go from this evaluation to that evaluate. You got to, like, chill. So in this position, both sides have played very well. And the engine actually prefers black here. But black has to play knight f5. Always play knight f5. Obviously, the knight is more important than the exchange. It's a knight. After knight f5, takes, something takes. It says black's slightly better. Black has 2 pawns and a bishop for a rook, and nobody's really threatening anything, just sort of boring. Okay, slightly better for black. Instead, your opponent blundered. Okay, and the engine doesn't really like your knight d7 move. He played rook c8. That just hangs a piece. And you have a big attack. Rook c8, according to the engine, is an 11-pawn blunder. I mean, you can't do that. So it wasn't that you cheated. I mean, you probably cheated. But your opponent made the worst move in chess history, going from slightly better to resignable in one move. I mean, his knight's hanging, play knight f5. Now, this is a pet peeve of mine where I hate you guys even more. By the way, he's also walking into this later. Rook c8's really bad. Often, low-rated players have a choice to make. It's a Sophie's choice. Okay, so it's not so good. The choice is you can lose a piece or you can lose an exchange. And the lower rated you are, the more you want to lose a piece. You guys love losing a piece instead of the exchange. The exchange is nothing. Losing the exchange is almost good, almost. Losing a piece means you're down a piece. Now this guy's 2,100, according to, to you. And in this position, he's like, should I lose the exchange or a piece? And he chose a piece. You go here. Ridiculous decision. Now you're up a piece. And the game's over. What's wrong with queen g3? That's what he played. No, it's down a piece. That's what's wrong with it. White's up a piece. I mean, why would you want to be down a piece? I mean, first of all, I think I could just take this and play knight b6 and be up a rook. But all right, he played the right move because the king has to go to h8. Yeah. All right, everything wins. Doesn't matter what he does. That's fine. All right, you played here. That's fine. That's correct. That's fine. That's a strange move instead of king g8, but all right. That's good. That's ridiculous. That's good. That's ridiculous. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, you did nothing this game where I would think you cheated. And then he resigned. I mean, his rook c8 was an incredibly bad move. If he played knight f5, he'd be slightly better. Yeah, you played like a human too. You played knight d7, and you didn't play the computer moves when you were attacking him. You just played randomly, which was fine. But you played well. You played better than him. So, j'accuse, après moi, le checkmate. Or deluge, I don't know. Something. Yeah. What's difference in the exchange and a piece? A piece is a piece. That's a piece. That's a piece. If you're like, oh no, I lost my knight, then you lost a piece. Oh no, I lost my bishop, then you lost a piece. An exchange is when you lose a piece that technically is more valuable than another piece. So, and the piece in question would be a rook. You would lose a rook, and your opponent would lose a knight or a bishop. So you give away your rook, but you get a knight. You give away your rook, but you get a bishop. That's the exchange. In Europe, they call it the quality. So losing that is not very important. Losing a piece, you're down a piece. And your opponent had the choice of which to do, and he chose, to lose a piece, which is terrible. Yeah, après nous, that's correct. C'est pas bon. Yeah. So many years ago, god damn, I'm going to say 30 years ago, could have been more, Dlugy played a match with Fedorowicz because they tied for some interzonal spot, I don't know. Okay, Dlugy won. And Larry Parr, who was the editor of Chess Life, quoted Fedorowicz as saying, après moi le Dlugy. If you know John Fedorowicz, he did not say that. I talked to John Fedorowicz. I know John Fedorowicz. Larry Parr, you know John Fedorowicz. And John just said, like, I swore a lot, like mother, son of a, that's John. He didn't say après moi le Dlugy, which is funny, but, Parr just made that up. Yeah. Oui, oui. All right, I got to go take a wicked yes. What does that mean? Thanks for the 100 centidues, Curious Chimpanzee. Sorry, I forgot you guys aren't, the sharpest tools in the shed here. There's a French quote, après moi le déluge. Deluge is like the floods, the earth is ending, that kind of nonsense. So the idea is, like, let's say you're Donald Trump. Okay? And Trump is like, look, when I die, I don't care what happens to the rest of the world. That's the idea. And so since Delugy's name sounds like deluge, he's saying after me, Delugy. It's supposed to be funny, but it's not funny. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, some of the beginners are rank, and I taught them. I told them to take a shower. Then things were a little better. Ciao from Italy. You're awake in Italy? God damn. No, the Scandinavian's fine. Just don't tell Greg Shahadi. That's right. They should put on some more makeup. They are revolting. All right, let's try to get another train, because if we keep trying, even if it doesn't happen, I still steal some of your money. Now, I want to remember you. I want to remember you? I don't want to remember you. Après moi. All right. I want to remind you, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I will not be streaming. I'll be in Michigan visiting family. 200 centidues. Standard average gave me the old 1-2. All right. Thanks, Grungewart. Fen Beingold, you started another train. Good job. 500 centidues. Almost as good as 5,000, but not quite. God damn, probably Fen Beingold is first with number of bits this week. And then some. 34 centidues. The 1, 2, 3, 4. What should I play once fried liver stops working? Fried liver will never stop working. You can play whatever you want. Just don't tell Fedorowicz. You're in Sarnia. I've been to Sarnia. Have I? Yeah, I have. I was there once. You have to feed my children's children. Man, how old are you? Come on, there's 660 of you watching. You can donate $1 so I can get to level 2. Although some of you donated like 1 cent. That's still better than, the other people. J'accuse. Okay, maintenant. Okay, get rid of this. Delete message. Now, let's say I analyzed your game because you put it on Discord over the last few days. And then you're like, oh, I wasn't on the stream. No, I missed it. You didn't miss it. You can go to Twitch and watch the streams over and over, or you can go to YouTube and watch them over and over. So you'll still see, what I did. Something. There's too many games in Discord. I deleted all the games I looked at, and there's like 40 games left. Come on. I don't know what to do. Leave me alone. I would rather look at a game where somebody's here than not here. It makes sense. 200 Centidues, Fret God, 99. Mepex was hoodwinked. Cardisco, 100, everybody. Braves down 15-1, and they're still going to win. Michigan is locked down. That sounds like a place I would go. My game is first on Discord. Svelter Eagle. It is? Let's see. That is, I agree. All right, let's go. You made a very convincing argument. Yours is the first one. You're here. You get used to it. Your opponent was 300 points higher. I was around 1,300. Now, can somebody translate that to English? The answer is he's like 1110. That's around 1,300. And his opponent was 1,200, so his opponent was 300 points higher. Oh, snap. Okay, also he's a bit svelte. God, we're still on level 1 after all my complaining. Should have played more. He was 1201. Okay, Svelter Eagle. It's funny, at the chess center here years ago, guy would come in, yeah, I haven't played chess in 10 years. I was about, whatever they said when they walked away, I would tell Karen what their actual rating was. Yeah, I was about 1650. So I'm like, all right, 1250. Then we go to the USCF and find their old rating, 1250. Yeah, it was always like that. Always. Every time. Come on, we're going to die on level 1. Then the stream's going to end. And I'm going to raid somebody you don't like because you didn't donate enough. Boo. Let's see, who do you guys hate? I don't know, you guys don't really hate anybody. $9.99. Traveling Chef donates again. Xanth gives 109 centidues. Troy Haskin every 500 centidues. All right, so mathematically speaking, percentage-wise, do people lie more about their rating or their height? Like when they say they're 1,600 and 6 feet tall, they're 1,200 and 5'3", right? Is that what's happening? Yeah. Silky Johnson. Hate. And the player hater of the year is Silky Johnson, calling it a death threat to the Special Olympics. Woo. Hate. We put water in Buck Nasty's mother's dish. That was a good line. Hit me, babe. Psh, psh. Now that man, I would hate to fight. Let's see who watches the Chappelle Show. When the haters are getting together, looking at posters of things to make comments about, which man would they hate to fight? $9.99, Ursus Maritimus. Let's see who gets it first. Ashy Larry, no. That man I would hate to fight. No? So you guys don't know the Chappelle Show. Terrible. There you go, Rosie O'Donnell. That is correct. Seth Lichtenstein knows what's up. Now there's a man I would hate to fight. Yeah. Obviously it's a woman. I mean, it's a comedy show. Yeah. You guys are naming like men. That's not funny. Yeah. All right. Gotta learn your jokes. I gotta put water in Buck Nasty's mother's dish is a really good line. That's a great line. Yeah. Go Chappelle Show. Standard average is correct. Booyah! Gah! Okay, so is this a game? What's happening? Where am I? What world am I in? What game is this? What am I doing? Oh, this is the Svelte guy, right? 300 centidues. Thanks, Seats Boy. Hey, Svelte guy, what color were you? I think I deleted everything, so I'll never know. Oh, there it is. I didn't delete nothing. My opponent, I was white. Okay. So, let's get the Svelte versus 300 points higher. All right, there we go. Do men and women compete against each other in chess? That is correct. What does ascend to do? No. This is tiring yelling at you guys for so long. Okay, C4, that's explosive. All right. Knight F3 would transpose just to a normal King's Indian. This is a strange move because you don't want to take that. It's okay. Let me tell you why you shouldn't do it. Let me read this. 500 centidues, Jimbo Matthews. When you play G3 in chess and fianchetto your bishop, which is fine, if you play bishop G5, you can't retreat here because your bishop's trapped. So that means you want to take the knight, but you don't want to take the knight. So you shouldn't play bishop G5. If you play bishop G5, you have to take this knight when like H6 happens, because your bishop doesn't have these retreat squares. So these moves don't go together very well unless you're intentionally taking this knight for whatever reason. Standard average gifted a sub. Hooray. Welch's Grape Juice subscribed. Good, good. So bishop G5 isn't the most accurate. Okay. And E3, a little weakening. E5, pinning your own knight. I'm not a fan of that move. H6 I like. Queen takes I like. D5 I like. Not a fan of knight B4. E4 is all right. These moves are all good. See, do we have any tricks here? We definitely have tricks because the queen's overworked. So you could take here and then check. He has to take it, take this. And the engine says this is slightly better for white. All right, so that trick doesn't, but knight A6 is probably more better for white. Mo better, mo better, mo better. White should play B4 and trap that knight. Otherwise the knight could go here later. Yeah, you should play knight C5. C6's all right. Definitely should play bishop G4 here and harass the rook. Make sure he can't get on the C file. Queen D3 is a very poor move. Letting him play knight C5 with tempo. What? You can't do that. That's his only good square. You go here and let him do it, attack your queen. Seats Boy gave 5 subs. Knight B3 is good. Squeeze me. Very good. Go, whatever you guys are doing. Do it. B5, that's too interesting. Fedoris doesn't like it. Yeah, that's all right. Yay, I want a sub. You get a sub. You get a sub. Very interesting position. Because black played the move B5, which softens up C6, he's giving away the D5 square. If white ever takes this pawn and black takes back, black's controlling D5, white can never play knight D5. So when you play this, now my knight's coming to D5. So B5 is a little aggressive, Okay, and F5 just loses. That's the losing move. Because it undefends the queen. So you can't play F5 because it just tactically doesn't work. Knight B5 is a move, queen D7. White's slightly better. This just loses. Now, if you take with the pawn or the rook, rook takes knight, wins a knight because this is pinned. So if you take with a queen, knight check wins the queen. So you got to take with a knight, but then queen takes a7's winning because we have an extra pawn and we got the passed pawn on the 7th rank. A pawn's passed. So f5 is a blunder, and after it takes, you're winning. Okay, that's a blunder. You just take a piece. You did. Good. Yeah, he just blundered a piece. All right. And the rest was easy, or so I thought. You're up a piece, so should be easy. Bishop f1 is very good. Bishop h3 is good. All right. Now, remember when I said, this is earlier when I said this. I said, donate more. I said, you're doing what you're doing, and your opponent does what they does, and you ignore it. Don't do that. When white played bishop h3, he knew he was going to take that next move. Black made random legal move, and then he took it. Well, you got to see what your opponent's doing. He played here. White is a strong enough player to see queen takes rook check. So when your opponent, you can't make moves like that. Black can't play rook b8. You can't do that. You can't not take it. Right? It makes the game go down in value quite a bit. Here's a rook. Okay, take the rook with check. I'll take a pawn. Okay, still winning because you're so winning. Now it's harder to win. Yeah, now it's mate if he moves his king. For example. Oh wait, I thought I was mating, but I was imagining it. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, and then bishop f7. And then if you go here, bishop e8. Wins the queen with check. But you should still play that. Black went totally nuts here and took this. Crazy. Then queen c2 is coming, so he resigned. I mean, you play better than your opponent, and you really punished him when he played f5 by taking on d4. Very nice. Yeah, I mean, you can't play f5 here because I take it, and pieces are all pinned and attacked. And after you took it, he has to take it with a knight. Then you win this, and you're winning, but it's hard to win. It is winning. Like Magnus would win pretty easy. Magnus dreamed about this position. But you can't take this way and just lose a knight. You can't do that. Come on. Whoever black was, come on. Can't just give your knight away. So this is the thing. If there is a tactic here, it's a check or a capture. This knight is the biggest, closest thing. 30 seconds left. Let's get to level 5. Do it. That's the biggest, closest thing to white's position. So you got to look at that. Right? This move ridiculous. This move ridiculous. Those are checks. This is a capture ridiculous. This is a capture ridiculous. This is a capture ridiculous. And then this wins. And this is the first one you look at because that's the biggest piece closest to you. This piece is in white's territory, and it's a knight. It's not a pawn. Also, always sack the exchange. Yeah, when you see pieces lined up like this, then bad things happen to good people. Man, you guys were slightly too slow. 8 subs, 2,600 bits. Thank you. Fen, Beingold, and Xanth. Xanth was 1 second too slow. But you still did well. Good train, good train. All right, and then the final positions are always, one side's up 800,000 billion pieces. That's how you guys do it. Good game, SV Eagle. You're the best. Definitely the losing move for him, the losing move was when he played G takes F5 and you took his knight. Then you're winning for sure. Before that, you're probably winning. F5 is a bad move. Terrible, frankly. Hooray for Ben. How do you copy and paste? Come on, this is near 2020. Wait, I'm getting yelled at here. What? Damn. Yes. I didn't see that coming. It is 2020. Wait, why is she crying? What? Oh, she's like fake crying. All right. Okay. You'll see why I'm laughing in a second. Not related to what I was just doing, a separate issue. We're having a tournament here. Spencer's the TD. This is tonight. This is an hour ago. And a guy who's rated between 1,700 and 1,900, who's played, 500 tournament games, come to our club for years, etc. Slow tournament, slow chess. He went up to Spencer. I won't say who it is because it's embarrassing. He went up to Spencer and said, I touched a piece, but I don't want to move it. What's the rule on that? This is why I hate everybody who ever lived. That's why. Now you know why. God damn. If I was the director, I would have had him killed. Then I would go to jail. Stupid Democrats. All right. God damn. Jesus Christ. What's the rule on touching a piece? Do I have to move it? Man, if David Packman asked me that, I'll be like, look, bitch. Also, David's probably here. Hey, David. All right, let me check my emails. Yeah, actually, I could do it now. Let me do a test thing now. Let's see. So there's this thing going on called the National Open. And this year it's going to be online. It's going to be November 20, whatever. So it doesn't matter. In November, end of November. And there's a link. If you enter through the link, it's the same price as if you enter normally, except I get a kickback. Let's see, is that it? Chester, Vegas. I think so. I think that's it. Let's see, open link in new tab. Oh yeah, that works. Yeah. There's a Blitz tournament and okay. So if you want to play in the National Open or the National Open Blitz or whatever, if you use that code to enter, it's the same price for you, but I get a kickback. So if we get a lot of people to do it, I'll get a lot of kickback. So if you were planning on playing in the National Open, which is an online tournament, it'll have hundreds of players, huge prizes, etc. It's the same as the National Open, except it's online. They tried to have the National Open in Vegas, and they couldn't do it. The hotel was like, no. They had two different hotels they were going to have it at. They had to cancel both of them. So National Open online, and we're going to put that link, like in the Ben Feingold Chess Club, on chess.com, on the YouTube videos, Discord, MooBot, Nightbot, in the sky, in your dreams, and there you go. Yeah, make a thing. That's a good question. Is Tigran playing? I don't know. Yeah, so do that. Use that link, and then I'll get money. Yay. Go affiliate. Now, a better affiliate is the other one, because I get more money. What's that one called? Premium. Most of you are members of chess.com. If you want to improve your membership so you have more stuff you can do, or just renew, or join for the first time, if you use that link I just posted, then I get billions. If enough people did that, I would make more money than you make in a year. But enough people aren't doing it now. Probably for the Chess Bras and Botez, they make more money off the affiliate link than you guys make in a year. And it doesn't cost you anything. It just gives us money. It just takes money out of chess.com's hands and puts it in ours. Doesn't affect you. So, obviously you should do that. What percentage of people will cheat being online? Well, here's the problem. When Karen and I have online tournaments and we have prizes, there's no entry fee. The National Open, there's an entry fee and then some. It's like $100. Might be less. So if you cheat, you're probably going to get caught because they don't pay prizes out for like 2 weeks. They analyze all the games of prize winners with like 700 computers and ICC and chess.com and the Sky and God and Super God and the Robot Devil. So you will be caught if you cheat and then you lost your entry fee. So it's risky to cheat. If you play Entitled Tuesday and you cheat, they're like, hey, you cheated. You didn't pay an entry fee. So, if like 20 people cheat and they kick them out, they got $2,000 in entry fees from guys who cheated and they didn't give them any money. So cheating, when you have to pay a big entry fee, is really risky. Because it's a USCF rated tournament online. It's the National Open. The USCF will kick you out of USCF. You can't play chess anymore. So it's very risky to cheat in this tournament. But, if you cheat and don't get caught, then you make a lot of money. But usually you get caught because they just look at all the games of the cheaters. The prize winners, that was on purpose, over and, and then they catch people. So there won't be a lot of cheating, but there'll be some. And people are dumb. Yeah. But anyway, the important thing is, do that stuff I said. Exclam National Open, good. Yeah. And Exclam Premium. Don't make me work for my money. Boo. Yeah. Yeah. And then if you and Karen, but mainly you trying to learn, if that can go in Discord somehow, on the Ben Feingold Chess Club somehow, on, I guess, YouTube videos, we can do that. We can add the link. Yeah. And then I can do it on Twitter. And then what I want you to do, trying to learn, is rent a plane and then have some skywriting with the link. And then go to some of the hospitals where they have studies of the dreams and put it in people's dreams. And then send that information to Kangaroo, because Kangaroo's watching a lot of Futurama. So he'll understand how to hook up that way. All right, good. Yeah. Yay, go Karen. I helped Karen with the taxes during the stream. God damn. Didn't see that happening. Yay. All right. And by helping, it was like 4 seconds of help. But yeah. National Open, when it's a normal tournament, when there's no pandemic, is 6 rounds. 2 rounds a day, slow chess. The games take 3, 4, 5 hours. There's 2 games a day. Online, I don't know. All I know about online is give me your money. That's all I know. Yeah. So hopefully, if we advertise in 5 or 6 different places and we get 50 people to sign up, doesn't cost you anything. It's the same price, but I'll make a few hundred. So that'll be good. Show me the money. Yeah. Every 19 minutes. That's pretty good. Good job. All right. Who's next? Who's yelling at me? I yell at you. You yell at me. Family. I don't know who's here on the stream who put a game on Discord over the last 3 days. There's like 15 games left. Now, obviously, if there's 15 games on Discord and only 2 of you are here who posted the games, if I made that up, but then I should look at, you see what I'm saying, right? No? Right. Yeah. I'm here, Cardisco. All right. Me, please. Adventuristic. He was first. What's Discord? What? Moobot bans me if I do. Damn. All right, so we'll do adventuristic if I can find his game. It has to have the word adventuristic in it. It can't be like some other name, and then I'm confused. This is the FEN of an OTB game I played. And this is somebody else. You can't send me an FEN of an OTB game. I played black today. It's also an FEN. That's the same guy. That's the guy who kept doing that. I like deleting things because then I don't have to look at them. Deleting is great. I forgot who I'm looking for now. Getting confused. There's just so many games. God. What's wrong with you people? All right, that has too much nonsense in it, so I can't look at that. All right, let me go back to the stream. I don't see the people who are saying, yeah, Joseph, you've been complaining for a long time. So Joseph wins due to his incessant nagging. All right, here you go, Joseph. You complained for like 4 hours, and yesterday, I think. Okay. Yeah, take your medication. All right, Joseph Silbiger. I'm 1700, 3-minute game on Lee chess. Boo. Okay, so you won, and you're black. Let's see if this PGN works. It did. All right, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll look at the chat and get yelled at. Haven't been yelled at in a while. All right, who's yelling at me? Bowler, did you lose to Rutten? That game was complicated. Let's see, what happened here? What did Bowler say? I guess you lost because you said you made it 35 moves. All right. My game is in Discord. There's a lot. Is it my turn? Probably it's your turn now. I don't know. Okay, although Silbiger has been complaining for days, so probably his turn. I don't know. Okay, so you're black against lead chess guy or girl, and you play the England Gambit. E6, god damn. I've never seen that, and I'm an old man. I've seen everything. I've been everywhere, man. E6 isn't a good move. E3 is not a good move. Don't check when they can block with a pawn. Don't do that. Don't do that and block your bishop. Very bad play. Bishop, why you want your bishop on A5? That's the side of the board. B4 is so weakening, but all right. Man, G3, god damn, moving off pawns? G3 is not good because they have open F file. You can't weaken your knight like that. All right. E4 just hangs material. If you take the pawn, we have a check. I almost missed that. And both of you missed that. I thought this was a tactical trick. And it worked, and then it didn't work. Like, if I was black here and I saw that, I would play king h8, because I don't like being on this diagonal. I don't like my king being open to a check every move. But you took, and now queen d5 check wins your knight. Standard tactic. Knight on the other side of the board, knight's not defended. Tactics 101. Instead, white retreated like a Frenchman. Now, I've said this on every stream. When your opponent makes a move, you guys stare at that move. So let's say you're driving, la 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 la, and then, you see something on the side of the road. I don't know, a deer, I don't know. Something. And you're like, ooh, and then you crash your car. Okay, you can't do that. So when the guy plays knight d2, you can't just stare at his knight at d2. You got to be like, this is attacked, this is attacked, this is attacked, and knight fd2 just lets you attack it again. So by taking it with the knight or the rook, you're plus 1,000. The game's over. So that's very bad to take that knight. Now, if these moves weren't possible, you still shouldn't take the knight, because this knight on d2 is bad. It's blocking this knight, blocking the bishop, blocking the queen. Just move your knight somewhere. Don't trade for that knight because he's blocking all of his pieces. But definitely you should take this, and you're winning. And you just took that because you just went there. You're like, ooh, knight d2, shiny, and you took it. Okay, the game continued. I would take that bishop and mess his pawns up. All right, also good. You guys love your bishop h3s. Rook e1 is incredibly bad because he's leaving this open file. Very dangerous. Okay, never going back, but he went back. Tripled up on the bubble up. Yep, there's your tripling up on the bubble up. You represent the tripling up on the bubble up. And after b5, you played crazy like Fox News. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just crazy. Okay, and this is, okay, you guys are always doing this. I already told you not to do it. Okay, black is winning. Black has a better pawn structure. Black has better rooks. Black has a better queen. Black has more pawns at the center. Black has the safer king. So move your knight anywhere and you're winning. Anywhere. Doesn't matter. Knight e7, knight d8, knight a5. It's all winning. Winning, winning, winning. But you were like, no, I have to sack everything and win brilliantly. Now, if you were losing, then yeah. Then sack everything and see if it works. But you sacked everything and it may or may not work. And if you move your knight, you're winning. You don't need any fireworks. So rook h6, very dangerous. Okay, then you sacked your rook, which was your point, and now you're winning. So it turns out you were right. What he should have done is play queen d1. Get that queen out of there. It turns out you're a genius of the highest caliber. After this, there's no defense. Obviously, you're threatening mate 6 ways from Sunday, and you got 2 rooks, 1 for each of them. So basically, you're a genius of the highest caliber, basically. And then you win. This would have been less energy because it's 2 squares instead of 5. All right. So very interesting. Tripling up on the bubble up. But yeah, the very key position. You blundered your knight, and he didn't take it. He could have played queen d5 check winning a knight. You could have played knight f2 winning, rook f2 winning. You play here. Now you're up a pawn, and you won anyway because these moves, the position doesn't make any sense. Okay? That's what you get from playing guys on lead chess. They're terrible. Lead chess, worst site ever. Chess.com, hooray, etc. All right, good job except for one thing. All right, now who's yelling at me? Cardisco's yelling at me, and who else? I had like 3 guys yelling at me. I forgot who they were. Cardisco was one of them, but somebody else was yelling at me. Oh, I know who it was. Ursus Martimus. Yeah, because you gave me like 5 donations today. Max Kroll, my game from 812. I think I deleted that because I didn't like it. Let's see, Max Kroll. There's Ursus Martimus, also from 812. Oh, there's Max Kroll. All right, Ursus Martimus, his game was first. Although it's a very long game, so I'm pretty mad. But he did lose, so I like his humility. So the problem with this format, invalid PGN, uh-oh. That's not good, Ursulus. Let's see here. Let me try to figure out what you did wrong. Problem with this format is there's always like 20 games I didn't look at when the stream ends, and you guys all get mad. I got to figure out what's wrong with this PGN. I mean, it looks good. I'd have to do a fine-tooth comb to figure out what's wrong with it. I don't know what's wrong with this PGN. It looks okay. Let me get rid of the mate symbol just in case it doesn't like that. I don't know. Nah, there's something wrong with it. I don't know what it is. You'll have to find out what it is. All right, Max Kroll. Let's see if your PGN is also messed up. Hooray. No, that's a good PGN. I was black, 3-minute game, 1750. 1750. Kroll. All right. 3-minute game, you were black. Always bet on black. It's missing the result. That doesn't matter. The result doesn't make the PGM bad. What are we yelling about? That's right. A lot of people are cheating on chess.com with engines, so you get a higher level of play. In lead chess, they're like, well, how do I play chess? They're terrible. All right, this is going to be the last game of the stream because it's been 3 hours. And then, next stream, there'll be 90 games to look at, and I'll look at 10 of them, and you guys will get mad. Okay, it's a 3-minute game. Yep, this is the line in the Petrov. I mean, E5 is the only move. A lot of Grandmaster games. Knight takes D4, just loses a pawn. Knight takes pawn, you're up a pawn. Bishop C5 is also good. Knight takes pawn, Queen E2, the engine says is equal. It says this is the best move. So I guess I'm wrong. Okay, now we're in a Scotch, just a regular Scotch. B takes C6 is every Grandmaster game ever. So DC6, all right. Not considered very good. King on D8. King E8, preparing the castle later. Good. Bishop takes F6 really isn't a good move. Giving your opponent the 2 bishops is it's too good. Just develop your bishop, castle, and you have an advantage because you have 4-3. This is actually a worse 4-3. It's very hard for white to make a passed pawn here. With the pawn here, it's easy. You make a passed E pawn. And you give up your 2 bishops. So white lost some of his advantage there. Here, white just hung a pawn. That's terrible. His pawn's defended, and he undefends it. Terrible. Good thing it's a 3-minute game. I don't like bishop E3 check. King is safer on B1. But all right, it's not bad. That's a good move. Always retreat. Good. Probably Kroll was like, why can't I castle? Why can't I castle? He's like, I don't know, and he played here. Is that right? Also, is this Kroll? Yeah, it is. King E7. It's better to play King E7, defend your F pawn. All right, black's just up a pawn for nothing. That hangs the G pawn. That's terrible. You guys are like focused on what you do. Now, this is your opponent, not you. You guys are focused on what you do and don't care what your opponent does. That's why you always lose. Also, there's 20 other reasons you always lose. My rook, I just played here. I just played it. I just did it. I just played rook G8. And you're like, oh, why don't you come in here and crush me? He just played rook G8. How could you play knight H5 and let that rook take everything? God damn. All right, H4. Now you missed a fork. Bishop G4, forking the rook and knight. Guess you could have played a last move. It probably wasn't so good last move. Yeah, rook G2 is better. What was that? Oh, Troy Hasking. I forgot that I was still streaming. Troy Hasking gave 5 subs. I thought I was talking to myself. Yay, thanks, Troy Hasking. It's upsetting that every game I look at, you guys make colossal, crazy blunders. And here's what I mean. Pay attention. There's 2 kinds of blunders. You make a blunder. I'm like, that's a blunder. The engine says that's a blunder. And you scratch your head and you're like, what do you mean? That's fine if you do that. I don't care if you do that. You don't know it's a blunder. You're confused. You need chess lessons. That's fine. But when you move your queen, hit the clock and go, oh my God, I hung my queen. You know it's a blunder, and you still did it. If Carlsen moved his queen and it was hanging, he would be like, oh, that hangs my queen. I won't go there. Before he makes the move. You guys make the move, hit the clock and go, oh, my queen's hanging. You both know it loses the queen, but you found out like 1 second later. You can't hang your queen. You can't hang your rook. You know you can't. And it's not a chess lesson like, oh, man, if I had gotten chess lessons from Ben 5 years ago, I wouldn't be hanging my rook. You don't need chess lessons for that. Don't hang your rook. You know that. And they do it anyway. And the reason is you're not thinking about what your opponent's doing. Super grandmasters, that's all they think about. What's my opponent going to do? Don't let him do it. Okay? Weaker players don't care what their opponent's doing, and they miss everything. Oh my God, I missed that. And that's why kids who are low rated and very young move so quickly. You know who those kids are, all of them. They don't care what their opponent's doing. They see an idea for them, they move in 1 second. Their opponent takes their queen or mates, and they're like, God. If they had thought for 10 seconds, they would play 10 times better. So you can't make moves where the guy just starts taking stuff, which is what white did. It's infuriating. In this position, white castled, hanging his f-pawn. Then white, later in the game, plays knight h5, hanging his g-pawn, and now his h-pawn's attacked. He's got back rank issues, etc. And now bishop g4 just forks 2 pieces, and you defend. Boo! These moves are all right. Yeah, this is good play. You can't do that. All of you do this. All of you. You all do it. All of you. You're in a lost ending, and you trade down to a more lost endgame. Don't do that. With 2 rooks on the board, white can start attacking and making threats and being tricky. With no rooks on the board or 1 rook, black queen's his h-pawn. White has no counterplay. You can't play rook f4 here. You can't. Okay, I would definitely play rook h6. I like being behind the pawn. Then I would try to take all these pawns. I mean, it wouldn't work, but I would try. This is just, you lose. Yeah, and then excellent rook h7. Rook g4 also wins immediately, obviously. Rook h7, very good move, Kroll, because now you're going to queen your pawn. So he played here, makes sense. And then yeah. I mean, there was no problem. I would play king g3 here, but okay, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, with the 1 rook, the guy had no chance. Yeah. That's mate 2, which is funny, by the way. So white made 2 very bad moves that game. He hung his f-pawn, then he hung his g-pawn, then they traded all the pieces off, and he's like, why am I down 2 pawns in a rook ending? You can't just hang pawns like, he took my pawn. You can blunder because the tactic is complicated and you missed it. Not that like, it took a pawn. Dang, wish I saw that. Man, knight h5 along rook takes g2. God damn, that was a good rook on g2. So you play better than your opponent, you win. No blundering pieces. Boo. Or pawns. Fix the PGN. Yeah, but I got to go. I've been streaming for 3 hours and 10 minutes. I don't want to go. I have to go. Do a few games. I just got here. I just did like 30 games. Damn. All right. Thanks, Troy Haskin. You're the best. Better than everybody else. Boo. Everybody's like, analyze this. Boo. Now, for the next few hours, trying to learn will analyze all of your games, etc. Yeah. And don't forget it. Also forget it. Do more. Boo. Boo is correct. Yeah, whenever these streams end, these streams, there's like 20 of you who want me to look at your games. And then if I did, and we took 3 more hours, then there'd be 20 more people. Like, the stream has to end. I can't stream 7 hours a night. Now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'll be in Michigan. No streams. So tomorrow's my last stream for a few days. In theory, I stream 3 to 7 tomorrow. In theory, communism works. So it's possible I won't be able to do that off the stream later. Depends what Karen's doing and the kids and the sky and the moon. But I'll stream 4 hours tomorrow. I'll do this again. But I mean, when the stream ends tomorrow, after I do 4 hours of game analysis, there's still going to be 20 of you who are like, what about my game? I can't stream 24/7. Karen won't let me. But yeah, you guys just keep putting games in. I mean, it's infinite games. You don't donate, but you put games in. There's like 100 games and 4 of you donate. By the way, I get like 30 donations a stream, bits, subs, and it's like 4 people. They just keep redoing it. And the other 600, 700, 800 people are like, let me send them a game. See, that's your fault or something. Now, the guy who donated $100, I looked at his game like, that, son, god damn. That guy was a genius of the highest caliber. See, that guy wanted his game analyzed. Now you know why he's higher rated than all of you. Fen Beingold, good name too. That's right, you're bad and you should feel bad. No, but you guys will give like 100 centidues and say, look at my game. So everybody donated. But if you donate $1 and Fen Beingold donates $100 and he's 2,300 and Kangaroo's playing Komsky and Kangaroo's a mod and Kangaroo posted the game 3 days ago, I mean, some people have priority. Mods, VIPs, $100 donors. I'm supposed to tell the $100 donor, give me about 4 hours and I'll look at your game. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Probably. Look, this is pay to play over here. I learned it all from Trump. And then I forgot it all in another dream. Also, why is Kangaroo awake? Ridiculous. Kangaroo, it's 5 a.m. God damn. It's true. I hope Kangaroo's asleep. Doesn't hear all that. 6 centidues. All right. Yeah. It's funny. I told people at the chess club tonight, if you do something where you're not using the internet and checking Twitter and Facebook and CNN and Fox News, and you're just like, you're playing some chess games or you're watching a sporting event, whatever, doesn't matter. And then if you do it for like an hour or two, when you're done, you go to the internet and see who has COVID, right? And they were like, what? People at the club, they're like, what? Huh? Okay. And I was like, for example, Nick Saban has COVID. And they were like, what? When did that happen? I'm like, it just happened. And I said, you're going to play a tournament game tonight. When the game's over, somebody else famous is going to have COVID. And I've been streaming for 3 hours and 12 minutes. So I assume in that time, there's been a report that somebody else has COVID. I don't know who it is. I got Barron Trump and I got Nick Saban. So what happened in the last 3 hours? Somebody tell me. Tell me. You guys don't know because you're here. Tina Yothers. Do I know who that is? Is that the little girl from Family Ties? So she must be like 55 now. I don't know, Bowler. That sounds like you made it up. Yeah. Now you're naming people I never heard of. What? Oh, the athletic director at Alabama has it too? That makes sense if Alabama coach has it. Yeah. Literally with 2 R's and 2 L's and a Y and a Q, etc. All right, who do I raid? Let's see if somebody told me who to raid. No, I haven't been told who to raid yet. Man, that's the bottom of the barrel there. Bottom of the barrel for everybody. Benjamin Bach. He'll be Bach. Braves lost 15-3. They made a comeback. All right. Thank Naroditsky for the huge raid. Don't forget, 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, he's playing Tigran. And I'm guessing, and by guessing, I'm not guessing, Peter's going to be banning a lot of people tomorrow. He knows it too. He's probably going to ban like 200 people. Because you guys are going to make your jokes, and then Peter's going to ban you. So, yeah. Raid Chess Bra. That's what it says on my thing, Raid Chess Bra. Yeah. So 1 p.m. tomorrow, go Naroditsky because he raided me. And one more thing. Oh, wait, I said one more thing, but I didn't end the stream. What I meant was,